You're in Konoha, and you call these ninja tools? This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 451 Beyond Family Weapon Shop. What happened? Tianyu looked at his house in confusion. It seemed that no one had lived here for a long time. Then Tianyu hurried out of the house and wanted to ask Tsunade where his family had gone. But he was stopped by the ant next door. Hey, isn't this Tianyu? What are you doing in such a hurry? And, it's like this. I came back and saw that my parents were not at home. What did they do? Tianyu tried to calm down his tone and asked the ant. You are talking about a couple. Haven't they been doing business in the weapon shop all the time? Don't you know that your parents' weapon shop is very popular now, and they don't even have time to go home every day? When the ant mentioned this, her eyes were full of envy. Everyone knows that all this is brought by Tianyu. Who doesn't want to have such a promising son? Tianyu couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief when he heard this. Then he thanked the ant and hurried to his weapon shop. It's true that his weapons are of good quality, but even if he sells them at cost price, the price is a bit high. Who knows that they can be so popular that they don't even have time to go home? Tianyu obviously underestimated his reputation for making weapons. It was more than just a fire. After the reputation of Tianyu weapon shop spread out in the past few days, it can be said that it was very popular. Even in the past few days, there were ninjas from other villages who came from afar just for the ninja tools in Tianyu weapon shop. It can be said that the current Tianyu weapon shop has really become the most famous small shop in the world. When Tianyu came to his own weapon shop at the fastest speed, the scene in front of him shocked him. One by one, the big guys in the ninja world held silver bills in their hands and kept shouting. It was like an auntie buying vegetables in the vegetable market, afraid that she would not be able to grab the ninja tools. And now, there are not only his parents in the weapon shop, but also more than a dozen unfamiliar employees. Even his sister Tiantian participated in this transaction and became a cashier. What's going on? Tianyu was confused. He originally wanted his parents to find something to do. Now, this is not looking for trouble, isn't this looking for trouble? Tianyu ran in from the crowd with difficulty. Just when he wanted to talk to his father, he was pulled aside by his mother. Hey, Tianyu, you're back. Hurry up and help. Tianyu was pulled to the shelf with his mind blank. Tianyu-sama? You're here to help too? I'll buy 2 kune for you, 10,000 taels. A ninja recognized Tianyu, put the money in Tianyu's hand, and walked out with a kune medicine. But when she was about to walk out, she was stopped by Tianyu. Wait a minute, 2 kune, did you take the wrong money? Tianyu didn't believe her ears. If it weren't for the money in her hand, she would have thought that the other party had said something wrong. Tianyu-sama, you're right. Could it be that the price of your kune has increased since I haven't been here for a few days? Obviously, the ninja's face became embarrassed, and he quickly took out another 10,000 taels. I'm sorry, I haven't heard that the price of weapons has increased. May I ask how much it has increased? I'll give it to you now. Tianyu's eyes widened. Just 2 kune, so much? The price hasn't increased. You go first. I have something to do and I'll leave first. After Tianyu sent him away, he came to the door of the weapon shop alone. No wonder when he was at the Nara family's house and gave the Nara family a detection mouse, Shikoku felt like kneeling on the ground. It turned out that 2 kune would sell for 10,000 taels, not to mention this high-tech detection mouse. I went there. I thought I was already a profiteer, but I didn't expect you 2 elders to be even more ruthless. Tianyu couldn't help but sigh. When he quoted the price at the beginning, Tianyu deliberately increased the original cost a little. He was afraid that his parents would sell it at the cost price for the benefit of the village. Sure enough, the couple were doing business at the beginning, and they didn't care about face at all. They were the king bomb right away. But this is the only price that Tianyu's ninja tools can sell at? If other families dare to sell at this price, it's not a matter of the king bomb, then they will have a 3rd child. Okay, since you are so busy, I won't bother you. Tianyu couldn't help here either. If he was here, he might cause trouble again. I'd better come to see them in the evening. As he said that, Tianyu came to a ramen shop. He hadn't eaten it for more than a month. It was nice to come here to relive the taste of ramen. Not only that, he hadn't seen Naruto for a while, so it was a good opportunity to come and see Naruto. Who knew that after Tianyu sat down, there was no one at the stall except Tianyu? Huh? What's going on? Tianyu was very surprised. He didn't see Naruto all the way. He thought Naruto came here to eat ramen, but how could there be no one here? Uncle Ichiraku, do you know what Naruto has been doing recently? Tianyu felt that Ichiraku was the person who knew Naruto best, so he should be able to find out some information about Naruto here. After hearing this, Ichiraku placed a bowl of pork bone ramen in front of Tianyu, and then thought for a while. You mean Naruto? It seems that he went out with Jiraiya for training half a month ago. I heard that he can't return to the village in the short term. I really miss him. Ichiraku's face was a little ugly. After all, Uncle Ichiraku can be said to have watched Naruto grow up over the years. Naruto, who used to come every day, suddenly said that he would not be able to come back for a while, and Ichiraku was a little sad. Thank you. After Tianyu thanked him, he started to eat ramen, but he was very confused in his heart. Why did Jiraiya take Naruto out at this critical moment? After all, Naruto is also the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. Now, in addition to the Akatsuki organization, Konoha has only one Jinchuriki. Now he doesn't hide the Jinchuriki, but takes him out for a trip. What is Jiraiya planning? And Tsunade didn't tell him about this matter. What's going on? In fact, Tianyu really misunderstood Tsunade this time. Originally, Tsunade was going to tell Tianyu about this matter. Who knew that when he saw Tianyu, Gangsho didn't know why he couldn't control his emotions. So I forgot everything I wanted to tell Tianyu. In the end, I just reported the mission and went to eat barbecue. At this time, Tsunade, who was working in the office, also found out about this and was a little annoyed. Chapter 452 Naruto escapes. After finishing his meal, Tianyu said hello to the uncle and then left the ramen shop. Naruto leaving the village is a big deal, I'd better go and ask. After thinking for a while, Tianyu decided to ask and went straight to Tsunade's office. In a short while, Tianyu rushed to Tsunade's office. He didn't even knock on the door and ran in directly. Tsunade, I heard that Naruto went out to practice. Do you know about this? Hearing Tianyu getting straight to the point, Tsunade's face also showed a helpless smile. She could only explain to Tianyu why Naruto went out to practice at such a critical moment. You also know about this matter. I forgot to tell you because you left in such a hurry just now. You also know Naruto. He has always regarded you as his biggest target. I don't know what happened a few days ago. No matter how we tried to stop him, he was still in the village. There was even a period of time when Naruto ran out by himself and was almost eaten by wild beasts outside. So we had no choice but to send Jiraiya to ensure Naruto's safety. As Tsunade spoke, her helplessness became more and more serious. She also knew that this was a critical moment and none of the tailed beasts in the village could go out. She could not use force against Naruto. In this case, Tsunade's judgment was indeed the safest. Sorry, I have caused you trouble. Tianyu also knew that he was too anxious just now and lost control a little. Tsunade shook her head, indicating that it was nothing, and just looked at Tianyu in front of her and thought about the problem quietly. Do you know where Naruto and Jiraiya are now? Tianyu decided to go and find them by himself, and bring Naruto back first. I believe that Naruto will still listen to what I say. At worst, I can find a way to trick him back. Are you going out again? Tsunade did not tell Tianyu their address, but asked this question. After all, the time for Tianyu's mission every time he went out was too long, which made me not want to let Tianyu go out at all. Well, don't worry, it will only take about 2 days to ask them to come back this time. After all, it is still very easy for me to bring 2 people back. Tianyu felt that there was no capture mission this time, it was just to bring 2 people back. Can't I do it? But Tsunade wanted to say something, but after seeing Tianyu's firm eyes, a bitter smile appeared on her face. Yes, even if she refused, would Tianyu not go back? It seems that her position as a Hokage is not very valuable in Tianyu's eyes. When she wants to listen to her, she is indeed very obedient. But Tsunade believes that Tianyu will not stay in the village in this matter. HMPH. Why are you all like this? If you are not allowed to go out, then go out. Go ahead, go ahead. If you have the guts, don't come back. Tsunade said impatiently, and then lowered her head and didn't want to look at Tianyu anymore. She also casually threw the specific route of the two people going out for training to Tianyu. Go by yourself, be careful on the road, I will wait for you to treat me to barbecue when you come back. Don't worry, if I don't treat you to a big village when you come back, I will bring my head to see you. After Tianyu issued the military order, he disappeared from the spot, leaving only Tsunade in the empty office. Aasai echoed in the office, and then there was no more life. Okay, Sessnan, wait a minute, why are you running so fast? At this time, Jiraiya and Naruto were wandering in a small village. The two had actually started their training a long time ago. Since they came out, Naruto has been learning the Rasengan. This ninjutsu that Naruto should have learned a long time ago, but under the protection of Tianyu, he has just started. Hurry up, I'm going to have a big meal today. Jiraiya took out the wallet he found. Hey, isn't that my wallet in your hand? Give it back to me quickly. Naruto wanted to snatch it back, after all, he had just lost his wallet, but he never found it. Go, whoever finds it belongs to him. Will he answer if you call him? Jiraiya said, and pulled Naruto away from here. While the two were laughing and playing, a figure appeared in the dark. Really happy, you can come out at this time, what's going on in Konoha? The figure laughed strangely and then disappeared in the dark, and did not take action immediately. While everyone's eyes were on Jiraiya and his apprentice, a huge noise occurred in the Laolan ruins not far away. What's going on? Tianyu, who was still on his way, also felt the terrifying energy fluctuations in the direction of the Laolan ruins. Could it be that something strange has appeared? Tianyu was also very hesitant, after all, he was looking for Naruto now. Should I go find Naruto now, or should I go see what's going on over there? Finally, Tianyu took out a scout mouse from his arms. Go, don't act rashly, everything is based on transmitting information. After Tianyu gave the order, the scout mouse disappeared in front of him at an extremely fast speed. Tianyu continued to go to the place where Jiraiya and his apprentice were practicing. After sending these two people out, he would go in that direction to see what happened. At this time, Tsunade in Konoha village also received a report from the Anbu. Terrible chakra fluctuations. Tsunade looked at the report in front of her and didn't know what to do. Finally, she called Akimichi Choza and Yuno Shihu, two senior ninjas. You two, detect the news from Laolan clearly, don't fight, and come back quickly. Yes. After receiving the order, the two put on a mask on their faces and then disappeared from the spot. After all, this is a confidential mission. Although the two are not Anbu, it is better not to reveal their identities early. At this time, it is not only Konoha village that is taking action. It's just that they are closer. After other villages received the order, they all sent out their Jonin as scout ninjas to investigate Laolan. Oh? Laolan? Is there anyone paying attention to that place? At this time, Senju Tobirama, who was in the laboratory, felt a familiar breath and smiled nostalgically. What's wrong? What good thing happened? Orochimaru heard the voice, but he didn't raise his head, but asked distractedly. Don't worry about it, keep going, it seems we will succeed. Senju Tobirama no longer paid attention to these things. It's better for the older generation of ninjas not to step onto the stage of history. Chapter 453 Laolan Ruins. Orochimaru didn't want to ask about this matter. So he didn't say much and put a series of information on the blackboard in front of him. Yes, we will each be responsible for half of the module, and it should be completed within a month. Orochimaru said proudly, and even added in his heart. Maybe we can even complete a research that surpasses that kid. Then the two of them didn't waste words and calculated the information in their hands seriously. Just when all the villages were busy because of Laolan, Naruto and Jiraiya didn't pay attention to what happened in Nahoma. Naruto thought there was a big explosion over there, so there was such a sound. But Jiraiya's face changed, but he said that there might be an explosion. After all, this kind of chakra registration is not something that a small Sannin like him can interfere with. While the two were training, they were also constantly making Naruto and the Nine Tails have a vague connection. After all, as long as the Nine Tails is resolved, then things will be easy. Now Naruto's chakra control is insufficient, and it is completely too perfect to merge with the Nine Tails chakra. And the difficulty of controlling the Nine Tails chakra is not something a child can successfully complete. Only if you have a good relationship with the owner of the chakra, and he does not stop you, or even comes to help, can you control the chakra well. The contact with the Nine-Tails was very smooth. After all, Naruto is the friend of that pervert. If you make Naruto unhappy, you will not be much better off. The Nine-Tails shuddered when he thought of that terrifying existence. When he went to the land of fire, the Nine-Tails even wanted to resist. Who knew that he was taught to be a beast by Tianyu, and he dared not have second thoughts about Naruto from then on. It was because of this that Naruto successfully extracted the Nine-Tails chakra from his body. However, the Nine-Tails did not help further, but only split a little chakra. It is obviously impossible to let this kid turn into a tailed beast now. It's not that he doesn't want to, but his chakra attribute is too violent. Naruto is not qualified to turn into tailed beast mode in terms of strength or mind. He can only speak his mind through further training from Jiraiya. Not bad, I didn't expect you to master it so quickly. Although Jiraiya said that he acted very ordinary on the surface, his heart was already in turmoil. Is this kid also a monster? It's okay that he learned the Rasengan so easily. What's the situation of getting the Nine-Tails chakra so easily? Yes, I'm still far behind brother Tianyu now, I must catch up with him. Naruto was not proud, his eyes were firmly looking at the direction of Konoha village, and then he continued to practice. In this way, Naruto spent the whole day in training. Now Naruto's chakra has long been exhausted, and he can only lie on the ground gasping for breath. Here. Jiraiya didn't know when he appeared and put a popsicle on his face. Thank you, okay, Sessinin. Naruto happily took it, and then looked at the sky in the distance. Naruto, why did you come out so hard? You have obviously been recognized by the village, and you can enjoy life in the village. Jiraiya finally expressed his doubts during the break. After all, this made Jiraiya very confused. If Naruto was still the one who was hated by everyone and hated the Nine-Tails, then there would be a reason for Naruto to come out and train. Now everyone in the village knows about Naruto's greatness, and he even has subsidies. Especially now that we are still in an era of protecting the tailed beasts, Naruto is now a village favorite. It's actually nothing, but I want to catch up with brother Tianyu, even if it's just a word. After thinking for a while, Naruto said his reason. Because recently, the time that brother Tianyu and he meet can be said to be getting shorter and shorter. I am not like Hinata, who is brother Tianyu's girlfriend and doesn't have to worry so much. I am not Xiaoli, who is brother Tianyu's fellow apprentice, and I don't have to care so much. I am not Tiantian, brother Tianyu's biological sister, even if I am an ordinary person, I have to love and have a family. I was just a poor child who was favored by brother Tianyu. But now, my strength has long been a distance from brother Tianyu that I can't imagine. This distance makes Naruto feel speechless. It was this distance that made Naruto think of going out for training. Even if he couldn't surpass brother Tianyu, or even be on par with brother Tianyu. But he just had to keep hovering behind brother Tianyu, so that brother Tianyu would remember him. His present was given by brother Tianyu, and even if he died, he couldn't leave brother Tianyu. What are you thinking about, kid? Jiraiya saw Naruto motionless, seemingly lost in thought, and knocked on his head. Okay, you have to believe in your potential. Sooner or later, you will become someone that Tianyu doesn't want to see. Yet, after hearing this, Mingren nodded firmly, then stood up and continued training. Jiraiya couldn't help but smile bitterly when he saw this scene. However, looking at Naruto's back, he didn't know whether to discourage him or encourage him. Because Tianyu's back and achievements were too terrifying. This is no longer a person who can be easily caught up with simply working hard. When he was chasing Orochimaru, he didn't feel this feeling. It was as if Tianyu was a divine helper, and the results of all things would be as Tianyu thought, and there would be no accidents at all. This made Jiraiya couldn't help but sigh as he looked at Naruto in front of him. This godlike existence, being able to have the power to catch up should be already amazing. While the two were chatting, Tianyu had already walked into the village. When he walked in and felt the chakra of Jiraiya and Naruto in front of him, he couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. Fortunately, there was no accident. Otherwise, when the fourth generation came out to revive, wouldn't they fight with me? However, Tianyu's eyes were sharp, looking at the surrounding environment, and he actually locked dozens of chakras. Haha, where did you come from? You dare to ambush the son of the fourth generation of Konoha? You must be tired of living. Tianyu said, pulling out a Hyorinru from his arms, and calmly pointed to the front. Konoha village Tianyu, please leave here as soon as possible now, Otherwise I will let you see your ancestors. Chapter 454, Chasing you thousands of miles away. Sure enough, Tianyu was very honest. With just one sentence, only 2 of the dozens of people hiding in the village were left. Oh? You are quite brave. You didn't leave even after hearing my name. Tianyu looked ahead with interest. This familiar feeling was definitely that guy. Pa. Obito came out of the dark and kept clapping his hands. But it was a bit strange to see Obito's body. What? You died too? I didn't expect that you would be so miserable in the Akatsuki organization and even lost your life. Tianyu laughed, but he was very confused in his heart. Now Obito can be said to be a powerful person in the Akatsuki organization. No one can kill him. Not only that, even in the outside world, Obito is a rare strong man. How could he die so inexplicably? Haha, no one in the world has killed me except you. I came here and prepared this body for you. Obito laughed and remembered the horrible experience a few days ago. In order to study this body, he was tortured by Kabuto for several months. Kabuto placed Obito's consciousness on this body based on the original and pure world reincarnation. In this way, he could ensure that Yuan was at home and could provoke Tianyu without dying. Haha, I didn't expect that you were so cruel to yourself. I admire you very much. Tianyu nodded, and then looked at Obito's body at this time. Except for the voice and the mask, nothing matched, and even the power loss in his body was only half of the original. Hey, it seems that you have paid a lot for this body. But do you really think that your body with only half of your power can withstand my attack? Tianyu said with a sneer on his face, and gently placed a high Orinmaru on his head. Don't bother, you can't kill me. Obito pushed Tianyu's high Orinmaru aside with great confidence, and then found a place to lean against. You are right, I really can't beat you. But I didn't come here to fight with you this time, I came to talk to you about something. Oh. Tianyu was very interested when he heard this. Could these guys say anything good? Then tell me, what if I'm interested, maybe I'll agree. Tianyu smiled, then found a place to lean against, and listened quietly to Obito's nonsense. It's like this. After a while of speaking, Obito looked at Tianyu seriously. Tianyu, you should also be a strong person, and you can also feel the misery of this world. Join us, let's create a perfect world. As he said, Obito stretched out his back and looked at Tianyu with a sincere face. Well, what you said really touched me. Obito heard this, his face was happy. As long as Tianyu joined, then his Akatsuki organization would be invincible in the world. Then wait a minute, I haven't finished yet. Obito was about to take Tianyu away, but was interrupted by Tianyu. Obito had no choice but to stand by alone and wait for Tianyu to finish his words. But, I still like this world very much. The world you are talking about is indeed beautiful, but I don't like this world to become a world where neither humans nor ghosts exist. So I still have to refuse. I also advise you not to be blinded. Even Uchiha can't see clearly. After giving the final warning, Tianyu walked aside, patted Obito on the shoulder, and left. And Obito's body of impure world reincarnation, for some unknown reason, collapsed instantly. The bodies of the ninjas who were originally in the impure world reincarnation also appeared. Tianyu couldn't help but frown when he saw this scene, and then he didn't care and left the village entrance. At this time, Obito, who was far away in the Akatsuki headquarters, suddenly shouted in the room. And Kabuto, who was outside the room, also heard the sound and ran in quickly. What's going on? Kabuto looked at Obito, who had no wounds on his body and was shouting with his hands covering his shoulders, and he was at a loss. Damn, how strong is this guy? After Obito finally adapted, he slowly stood up, his body was already wet with cold sweat. Who are you talking about? Kabuto checked Obito's shoulder and found that there was a snowflake pattern on his shoulder. If nothing unexpected happened, it should be the one from Konoha. Didn't you see the pattern? You're asking when you knew it, but when was it put on my shoulder? Obito didn't expect that Tengu could attack him through a body. Think about it carefully, did Tengu touch your body just now? Kabuto was even more confused. He was very confident that he could have a chat with Tengu. They did have a chat, but this happened. Obito lowered his head in thought after hearing this, and finally recorded the whole process in his mind. Before and after, I only had contact with him twice, and the first time was when I appeared and he put that strange knife on my shoulder. What about the other time? Although Kabuto felt that this time was very likely, after all, It was Tengu's knife that was showing its power last time. But he still had to listen to the second time. The second time was also on my shoulder. When he left, he patted my shoulder, and then I came back. When Obito said this, his face turned pale. The pain just now was too terrible. This was not an ordinary pain at all, it was the pain from the soul. I know, it seems that our method is not working. After hearing this, Kabuto also understood, and began to explain to Obito how Tengu actually did it. It's like this. After hearing Kabuto's explanation, Obito also understood the general situation. That is to say, Tengu actually put the snowflake seeds on his shoulders at the beginning, and then used a special method to activate the snowflakes. But why the snowflakes would also attack the body, Kabuto seemed to be confused. Okay, I know, then observe everything in Konoha village for me, as long as Tengu has any action, I want to know. Obito no longer wanted to listen to these analyses. No matter how much analysis he made, it would be impossible to study the winning rate. Now if they want to get the tailed beast of Konoha village, they can only start with Tengu. When the Tengu monument is busy, it will be the time for them to take action. Obito feels that this task can be carried out for decades or even a lifetime. After all, Tianyu possesses the flying thunder god. As long as it is not a major case, he will not be too busy to ignore the village. So all this depends on the luck of the Akatsuki organization. Chapter 455, Joining the Akatsuki organization. But they may not know that their luck may really come. Just when everyone from the Akatsuki organization ran to Konoha village to investigate, Tianyu had already found Naruto. Naruto, don't do this, doing this will cause the chakra flow to be cut off. And this, don't use chakra, otherwise it will cause the chakra control to be out of control. At this time, Jiraiya was seriously instructing Naruto to use the Rasengan. Naruto, who originally had a good grasp of the Rasengan, was able to use the Rasengan normally. He didn't need the blessing of the shadow clone, nor did he feel powerless because of insufficient chakra. Hello, you guys are having fun. I don't know how worried we are about you. Tianyu came out with a smile and touched Naruto's head. Brother Tianyu. Naruto also became excited and came up to give Tianyu a bear hug. Tianyu could only smile helplessly. Jiraiya was much more disciplined and bent down gently. Greetings, Elder Tianyu. Okay, get up. My purpose for coming this time is very simple. Let's go back to the village first. It's very dangerous outside now. Tianyu didn't say anything polite and drove them away directly. After all, the Akatsuki organization's hands are getting longer and longer now. It's just as they said. Now there is no one except him who can beat Obito. It's not that the two Hokage of Konoha village can't beat him, but they can't keep him. There is no problem for the two to protect themselves, but if they are too far away, they will also be troubled by Obito's bug-like space ninjutsu. But Brother Tianyu, I finally came out to experience, and I'm going back now. Naruto was also a little unhappy. He rarely stepped forward to disobey Tianyu's words. Tianyu's face changed, and Jiraiya next to him thought it was not good. After all, who is Tianyu? Just based on what Naruto said just now, if Tianyu is really unhappy, he will have to bear it. Haha, Naruto, you have grown up too, and you have learned to talk back. Tianyu was not angry, and even laughed. After all, he didn't know how long it had been since he heard someone go against his will. Not only that, Tianyu still hoped very much that Naruto could have his own thoughts. After all, if he always listened to him, it would be difficult for Naruto to develop to the level of the original work. If the six-path sage knew that his son's two reincarnations were so cowardly, wouldn't he be furious? Brother Tianyu, do you agree that I can practice outside? Seeing Tianyu's size, Naruto thought that Tianyu agreed, and he almost jumped up on the spot. Who said that? You still have to go back. It's dangerous outside now. You can't go out. If you talk again, I may not feel better. Tianyu interrupted Naruto's words directly. Resisting a little is called rebellion. If you keep resisting, then you are not obedient, so you can't blame Tianyu. Naruto didn't feel it clearly, but Jiraiya felt it very clearly. This is an astonishing murderous aura. Not only that, the coldness in the words can be seen. If Naruto says a word, then the end will be miserable. Naruto, don't disobey me. Since Elder Tianyu has come here in person, it means that the situation is very serious. Jiraiya said this, nodded to Tianyu, and then pulled Naruto out of the village. Tianyu looked at the backs of the two people leaving, smiled bitterly, and then rushed towards Laolin. Okay, Sessinin, I still don't want to go back, or shall we leave now? Naruto, who was a little depressed, actually thought of this. However, this was directly rejected by Jiraiya. If you have lived enough, go by yourself. I haven't enjoyed enough. Didn't you understand what Elder Tianyu said just now? If you leave now, you have the ability to never return to Konoha for the rest of your life. Hearing this, Naruto didn't dare to act rashly. He would never leave Konoha village in his life. Okay, don't be depressed. It's just that you can't go out to experience. I'll take you into the village and teach you good things. Jiraiya rubbed Naruto's head, and then took Naruto and disappeared into the jungle. Just after the two left, a huge leaf appeared at the spot. This was Jewel, one of the big bosses behind the Akatsuki organization. He had been following the two of them, and had wanted to find a dark and windy night to do it. But after seeing Obito being tortured by Amaji, he gave up. He had a very important mission, so he should not move. He also sent this message to the headquarters. He told the headquarters that Amaji was now rushing to the Laolin ruins, and maybe hope was coming. Obito at the headquarters was still lying in bed recuperating, but after hearing this information, she suddenly became energetic. She quickly gathered the few remaining members of the Akatsuki organization together. Everyone listen to me, this time we must find a chance to snatch all the tailed beasts. Obito said, and his eyes saw Pine not far away. I'll leave it to you this time. Well, leave it to me. As long as Amaji is not here, I'm not afraid. This sentence completely reassured everyone. Although everyone knew that there were still two shadow-level people in the village, they were just catching the tailed beasts. With the existence of the Outer Path Demon statue, it would only take a few minutes. They were all confident that they could hold out for more than 10 minutes in the hands of the two generations of Hokage. If Tianyu knew this, he would probably laugh his teeth off. Who gave them the courage to say that they could resist for more than 10 minutes? If these people could hold out for 5 minutes together, they would be recorded in history. It seems that their Hokage was looked down upon. Someone is looking for you. At this time, in front of the gate, Fituin, who was regarded as a door god, shouted. Because he had no body, Fituin could only hang his head here and be a door god. The others also adapted to this way and were not surprised. Who? Obito gave a look to the people next to him, and then they all took fighting postures. They said they were the 12 ninjas who guard the land of fire. I remember that, so it should be correct. They said they wanted to come and join us. After Fituin asked almost everything, he began to report the situation truthfully. After hearing this, Obito nodded to the people next to him and then left the hall. Not only Obito, but even Kabuto left the scene, showing that Pine was the boss among those present. Come in. Pine said to Hiden after seeing that those who should stay had all left and those who shouldn't have left. Hiden nodded, and then the door was opened. What came into view was a shabby team. Chapter 456 Konoha Crisis. Among these 12 people, almost all of them had wounds of varying sizes. Not only that, one person's limbs had been blown off, and he was being carried on someone's back. This is too. Xiaonan couldn't help but want to complain, but was glared back by Pine. Xiaonan also quickly shut up and stood quietly beside Pine. After all, the current Akatsuki organization has no combat power. If they want to catch the tailed beast, they really need a few cannon fodder. You are the Akatsuki, we come to you, but I hope you can settle our boss. At this time, Asuma Sarutobi came out, and the boss he mentioned was on his back. As a gray organization, Akatsuki naturally knows the senior leaders of various countries, and this leader is no exception. Haha, I didn't expect that the former leader of the fire country has now fallen to the point of surrendering to us. Fiten laughed at the door. When the Akatsuki organization was established, the fire country was the most clamorous. Maybe the daimyo didn't expect that he would ask Akatsuki for help one day. After all, the only organization in the world that dares to accept them is probably Akatsuki. Ahem, sorry to make you laugh. I didn't expect Konoha to rebel. I'm not joining you unconditionally. I will tell you the information about Konoha village. The daimyo obviously came prepared. He had his men sort out all the documents of Konoha village and had them before coming. Oh? It seems that you are well prepared. But you 12 ninjas are also amazing. You actually risked your lives for him. Xiaonan on the side was also quite emotional. After all, the fire country has been destroyed, and they should have disbanded the 12 ninjas who were protecting them. Who knew that they would come to them from afar without telling their old master? We swear to be loyal to the daimyo until death. Besides, with our current identities, no one can accept us. There was no expression on Dilu's face, but it was obvious that he was lonely in his tone. After all, he was the abbot of the Fire Country Temple. No one could accept such a gap in status when he was kicked out like this. Not only Dilu, but everyone else lowered their heads, and they no longer had the reputation of the 12 ninjas who protected Konoha. Very good. In fact, we are short of people in Akatsuki now, so we naturally need you. But you also know that we only need you to have a master. Your loyalty to death makes it difficult for us to deal with it, Xiaonan said while looking at the disabled daimyo on Asuma's back. Sure enough, when Xiaonan said this, all the eyes of the 12 ninjas who protected Konoha looked at the daimyo. They came here with the daimyo on their backs, just because the daimyo had information about Konoha. After they accepted the daimyo, they could also come in smoothly. When they heard this, the patience was very clear, that is, they only needed a master. Wait a minute, I won't be your master, I just want to come to Akatsuki to retire, I won't interfere in any of your affairs. No matter how the daimyo called, there was always a terrifying smile on Xiaonan's face. Not only that, everyone around him didn't speak. In addition, the head of hidden on the door made the daimyo even more scared, and he fell directly from Asuma's back. Don't come over here. I tell you, I'm the only one who knows where the information is. If you kill me today, you won't get anything. When the daimyo said this, Konan's face obviously turned ugly. Indeed, although they don't need a useless person, the information in the daimyo's hands is a priceless treasure. Maybe there is something useful in this information that they can use. Just when Konan wanted to organize the 12 guardian ninjas, Asuma took out a map. Do you really think that you, a cripple, can easily shuttle through the forest? Asuma put the map in front of Konan. The 12 guardian ninjas came to join the Akatsuki organization today and specially presented the information about Konoha village and the head of the former daimyo of the Land of Fire. You traitors. The daimyo never thought that his most loyal confidant in the past would actually betray him. He was in a hurry at the time and didn't care about anything. While they were sleeping, he crawled all the way to the place where the information was hidden. He was still wondering at first, and felt that something was missing along the way. Now he finally understood. What is missing is danger. The area nearby was so safe that it was scary. It was hard to believe that this was really the wild. Now that Asuma said this, the daimyo lost all his strength, sat on the ground, and cried in despair. Why? Why did he ruin himself just because of a woman? Now the daimyo's heart can be said to be very regretful. If he hadn't been greedy for beauty, he wouldn't have ended up like this and been betrayed by a villain. At this time, Xiaonan had already drawn the map and then put it in Pain's hand. What should I do next? I don't need to teach you, right? Xiaonan said with a smile, not treating this fat man as a person at all. Of course I understand, Miss Xiaonan, you take a rest, we will naturally get things done. Bijin flattered him at this time, and then rushed up to lift up the daimyo. Dead fat man, I have disliked you for a long time, today I will send you to hell. Then Bijin ended the daimyo's sinful life amid the daimyo's begging and screaming. This may also be the most perfect thing Bijin has done in his life, right? After everything was done, Bijin ran in and knelt on the ground. Big sister, everything is done. What do you want me to do next? Bijin can be said to have taken this aspect of being a person to the extreme. No one doesn't like to flatter, even Xiaonan is no exception. Bijin's words just now made Xiaonan feel a lot happier. She turned her head and glanced at Pine. You don't have anything to do. Your lounge is next to you. You can go and rest first. I will give you the next instructions. After Pine finished speaking, everyone nodded obediently, bowed to Pine, and left the headquarters. And Kabuto and Obito, who were hiding in other places, also came out. It seems that we are really more powerful this time. Kabuto couldn't help but sigh. Their luck can be said to be scary. After all, after Tianyu left, their chance of success was only half. But when they were sleepy, someone sent a pillow. The arrival of the 12 guardian ninjas gave them cannon fodder and even a plan. When Tianyu left, it would be the day when they would have all the tailed beasts. Just when the Akatsuki organization got a strong main force, Tianyu had already arrived near the ruins of Laolin. Interesting, Laolin has such a strong aura, could it be that the dragon veins have really awakened? Tianyu thought hard in his memories, and the only thing related to Laolin, except the dragon veins, seemed to be nothing else. I'd better not go in now, wait for someone to come. Tianyu originally planned to go in and take a look by himself, but suddenly felt 3 auras in the distance. It seems that someone opened the door for him for free. Then Tianyu disappeared from the spot and hid in the darkness. Not far from Laolin, a ninja was being chased by 2 people. These 2 people were wearing clothes from the Konoha village. These 2 people were Zihu and Dingzuo, who were just sent out today to find out what happened in Laolin. Suddenly, they saw this wanted criminal Centipede, so they chased him all the way, and they didn't expect to come here. Centipede, no matter how much you run, it's in vain. Now put down your weapons and surrender. We Konoha are all captives. Dingzuo's physical strength has obviously begun to decline, but Centipede's condition is even worse. The fact that he can run at this speed now is entirely due to his mind. If it weren't for the fact that Konoha's execution of tasks is very humane, Zihu could actually use the bugs to kill Centipede now. Haha, you Konoha are indeed treated very well, but I want to release the ancient relics hidden in Laolin. The whole world will be mine next, haha. Centipede laughed wildly, looking at the ruins of Laolin in front of him, and ran forward madly. As long as he got there, these 2 Konoha Jonin would have no way to deal with him. At this time, Tianyu was watching everything in front of him in the dark, and he also followed the 3 people with a smile. Now only Centipede has a way to unlock the seal. If he comes by himself, he will have to use brute force to break it in the end. Centipede also saw the entrance to Laolin and rushed in excitedly, while Dingzuo and the other 2 stopped at the door. Their mission is to investigate the situation in Laolin, and now they have basically understood the general situation. Should they continue the pursuit or go back to report the situation? Chapter 457, Fire Never Ends. Now that the Centipede has gone in, it's difficult for us. Let's go back and ask for support. We'll leave 1 person behind to guard. As Zihu said this, his body had already begun to release insects. After all, it was the clearest choice for him to stay in guard. Dingzuo was only fighting a one-on-one duel. In this case, he should go back and report the situation quickly. Yet, that makes sense. I'll be back as soon as possible. You must wait for me to come back. Dingzuo gave an order, and then wanted to turn around and leave. Who knew that at this time, he saw a familiar smiling face. After seeing the person coming, Akimichi, Dingzuo and Aburame who immediately showed very pleasantly surprised expressions on their faces. They hurriedly bowed their heads and saluted him very respectfully, saying, "Greetings, Elder Tianyu." Then both of them bowed their heads and made way for Tianyu. They both knew that although the boy in front of them was very young, his strength was far above theirs. After all, how could someone who could become an elder of Konoha be a simple person? Oh? You should be the father of Shaji and Shino. It's been a long time. I'm going to Laolin now. You 2 can go back together. Looking at these 2 familiar faces, Tianyu quickly guessed their identities. The father of Chaji Akimichi is Choza Akimichi from the previous generation of Ino Shikacho. His body size is much more exaggerated than that of Chaji Akimichi. When standing with normal people, he looks like a giant. However, the father of Shino Aburame is not as special in body size as the Akimichi clan. Shino Aburame's father, Shihu Aburame, has a very similar personality to Shino Aburame. They are both very taciturn. In his body, he also breeds the parasitic insects that are used in the largest number of their family's secret techniques. Tianyu said that he was about to walk into the ruins of Laolin, but was stopped by Shihu. "Sir, I'm sorry. When we came here, Tsunade-sama had already told us. If we meet you on the way to perform the mission and you want to go in, we must bring you back and get Tsunade-sama's consent. Rather than exploring Laolin, the most important task this time is actually here." After feeling this terrifying aura, Gangsho understood that Tianyu was looking for trouble. For the lord in front of him, he would not worry about any danger in the Laolin ruins at all. As long as it can arouse his curiosity, he will definitely go and see it. But Tianyu is not worried about being in danger, but it does not mean that others will not worry about him being in danger. If he really encounters an accident, the consequences will be a price that the entire Konoha cannot bear. If there is any danger here, it is completely unknown and dangerous for Tianyu. According to Tsunade-sama's previous instructions, she must take Tianyu back with 2 people. Oh? I didn't expect Tsunade to have a long memory this time. Tianyu smiled helplessly, and then a Hyorinmaru appeared in his hand. An ice blue longsword appeared in his hand. Although he had not yet released any skills, it had already made a Kimachi Choza and a Burimshihu feel a piercing chill. Is this the legendary ice ring pill in Elder Shianyu's hand? It is so powerful. Even if they just looked at it, they were under tremendous pressure. They both had the same idea in their hearts, that is, if they really had to fight with Elder Shianyu, could the two of them, together, withstand a move from Elder Shianyu? I'm afraid they can't. When they thought of this, their faces and backs were immediately covered with cold sweat. But if they didn't carry out a mission, what was waiting for them when they returned was the wrath of Lady Tsunade. They were horrified to think that Lady Tsunade's fist was enough to kill them with one punch. Do you think you can really stop me? You'd better go back. Even if I go in, Gangsho won't blame me. Shianyu wanted to move forward, but he felt that his body was already crawling with bugs. Lord Shianyu, I'm sorry, we are also on a mission. Giving up the mission and failing the mission are two different things. Zehu released all the bugs on his body, and even Dingzhou ate all the pills passed down from his ancestors. In an instant, a giant tens of meters tall appeared in front of Shianyu. Haha, Konoha's ninjas are really good. You are the first ones who know my strength so well and can face me directly. Shianyu couldn't help but feel proud. After he traveled around Shikoku, he found that almost all villages did not have this strange cohesion. Almost all ninjas completed the mission for the sake of profit. The only few who were sincere might be the relatives of their cage. It's not like Konoha village, even if two people who didn't know each other, for the village's mission, they would not hesitate to sacrifice their lives. Where Konoha dances, will the fire live forever? Shianyu muttered, and then put away his Hyorinmaru. You two are very good, I like your personalities very much, but I'm still sorry, I still have to send you back. As he said that, a green aura appeared on Shianyu's body, and then he instantly appeared behind the two people, and gently hit their necks with his hand knife. In an instant, the two felt a black screen in front of their eyes, and wanted to grab Shianyu in front of them, but they couldn't lift their hands at all. Alice. I'm sorry, I really have something to go in. After Shianyu finished speaking, he used Flying Thunder God to send the two back to the entrance of the village, and he disappeared. When the two were unconscious, Guji at the door had already seen them. He thought someone had murdered their Konoha ninjas, and hurriedly told Izumo and Zidi to call the Hokage over. And he came to the bodies of the two. Just when he was about to carry the two in, Guji's hand suddenly stopped because he heard the sound of snoring. At this time, Dingzhou was sleeping so soundly. Even the snoring was a bit deafening. Not dead. Guji then moved the two to the guardhouse chair, waiting for Izumo Kotetsu to bring back the Hokage. After a while, Izumo Kotetsu brought Tsunade to the guardhouse. Tsunade was originally editing documents in the office, but who knew that Izumo Kotetsu had run in rashly. When he heard clearly that it was Dingzhou and the other two, he rushed out quickly. After all, the two were assigned by him for the mission, and if they died in such an unclear way, Tsunade would feel bad. Uncle Gu, what happened? Did they really die outside the gate of Konoha? Chapter 458 Furious Tsunade. We all misunderstood just now. Actually, these two people were unconscious at the entrance of the village, and they didn't have any injuries. Guji was also very embarrassed. Just now, he was so flustered that he lost his composure and caused such a misunderstanding. Not dead, that's great. Tsunade finally breathed a sigh of relief, but she was still very confused in her heart. Why did the two of them appear in the village inexplicably when investigating Laolin? Izumo, wake them up. Tsunade ordered Izumo beside her. But Izumo didn't dare to step forward. After all, which of the two was not a powerful existence among the Jonin, and now he was asked to wake them up. This would be fine, but the most important thing was that his status was too low, and the two might retaliate against him in a while. What are you hesitating about? Wake up if I ask you to. No one dares to retaliate against you. Tsunade also saw what Izumo was worried about, and directly gave him a guarantee. Izumo heard this and relaxed his heart, and then came to Dingzhou. After thinking for a while, Izumo came up with the most primitive way. He raised his hand high and slapped it hard. With a crisp sound, Dingzhou woke up from his sleep, and he also felt his face numb. Not only Dingzhou, but even Zhiwei was awakened by the shocking sound, sitting up and looking around in confusion. At this time, Tsunade widened her eyes. She never thought that Izumo was so fierce that he actually went up and slapped her in the face. "Boy, did you slap me in the face just now?" Dingzuo reacted for a long time, and looked at Izumo in front of him furiously. Even if there were so many people present, this kid was right in front of him. Not only that, look at this kid's hands, they have turned red, and it can be seen that he was just killing me. It's me, so what? I have the order of Lady Tsunade. Izumo couldn't help trembling at first, but the next moment he thought of Tsunade's protection behind him. He was no longer afraid, and even raised his head slightly. This. Dingzuo, who was about to get angry, didn't dare to speak anymore when he heard that it was Lady Tsunade's order. This is because of Tsunade-sama's mercy. Otherwise, he might not be able to get up even if Tsunade-sama slapped him in the face just now. "Don't look at me. I asked him to wake you up, not to hit you. You can handle the next thing by yourselves. Let's talk about your going out first." Tsunade gave up on Izumo directly. After all, this kid was too cruel. Even if she was woken up like this, she would be angry. Let the two of them teach this kid a lesson. After hearing Tsunade's words, the two of them suddenly became energetic and looked at the trembling Izumo in front of them excitedly. "Boy, Tsunade-sama has spoken. I will stretch your muscles and bones in a while. Don't break them," Dingzuo said, and didn't forget to clench his fists. "Okay, be gentle in a while, and report your affairs now," Tsunade urged impatiently. After all, she had a lot of things to do, and she didn't have time to watch them fooling around in front of her. "Yes, we will tell you what happened now." Then Dingzuo began to recall everything that happened after his mission began. At first, it was normal. Tsunade didn't want to do anything when she encountered the centipede. But the centipede didn't have the courage to come to their Konoha village, otherwise they would not be able to leave alive. "Were you injured by the centipede?" Although Tsunade didn't dare to believe it, since it was the centipede, it should be close to the truth. Upon hearing this, Dingzuo showed a bitter smile on his face. "Tsunade-sama, what are you talking about? Even if our strength is weak, we can't beat the centipede." Then Dingzuo continued to narrate the incident. When he finally talked about Tianyu, everyone present felt the aura of Tsunade soaring. Because of this, Dingzuo stopped for a while and looked at Tsunade with a little fear. At this time, Tsunade squeezed out an ugly smile on her face. "Speaking of you, I want to see what that bastard Tianyu wants to do." Hearing this, the two looked at each other and continued to talk helplessly. At the end of the conversation, he lost consciousness and didn't remember what happened afterwards, and then heard a boom. At this time, Tsunade's fist had already landed on the top of Konoha's gate. In an instant, Konoha's gate collapsed, leaving only Tsunade covered in dust. Tsunade-sama, don't worry about me. I'm just a little upset. You guys do whatever you want. I'm going back." Tsunade lowered her head and stood up from the ruins, and then disappeared into the gate. Everyone looked at each other, feeling that Tsunade had an indescribable feeling just now. "Boy, what are you still looking at? Don't forget our grudges. Come, settle it with us, brothers." Dingzuo also knew that these things were not something that an existence of his level could know, so he should take revenge. Izumo was still thinking about the problem, but who knew that Dingzuo ran over and picked him up. "Lord Dingzuo, you are a Junin after all, otherwise, please be magnanimous and let me go." Now Izumo smiled with an expression that was uglier than crying, and looked at Guji beside him for help. But Guji shook his head and continued to pick up the broom to sweep the street. As for his good brother Ziddy, he had already run away to who knows where. If she still had any fight with this guy now, these two crazy people might beat her up too. Just like that, at the gate of Konoha, there were bursts of miserable screams. The sound stopped completely after more than 10 minutes. At this time, Guji and Izumo, who was lying on the ground, were left at the door. "Are you okay, young man? Don't worry, these two people are kind and didn't hurt your tibia." Guji went forward to check, and there was nothing wrong with his muscles and bones, but his appearance was a little miserable. As the price for the slap in the face just now, this is still considered kind. Izumo stared at his eyes, which had been unable to open for a long time, and couldn't believe what Guji said. Is this considered kind? Are the evil guys going to kill it directly? Come on, this is my good brother, quickly lift up the hospital. And here, find someone to repair it. At this time, the fight was over, and Ziddy ran over with a doctor and the maintenance team. He also pretended to pick up Izumo on the ground. "My good brother, How could you be beaten so badly? Hearing Zidi's wailing, Izumo wanted to refute, but his mouth was too swollen to speak. Woo woo, woo woo woo. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 459, Zio's Opportunity. Okay, stop whining here, and go to the hospital. Zidi slapped Izumo impatiently, and then started to take people to repair the gate. After all, the gate is the face of the village, and it can't just be left there broken. In this way, the miserable Izumo was finally sent out by the medical ninja. At this time, Tsunade was pacing back and forth in the office, and from time to time she would curse Amaji. It had been agreed that as long as Naruto and his apprentice were brought back, everything would be fine. As expected, this guy just wanted to make trouble, and now he went to Lalin again. Tsunade-sama, you don't have to worry, we know the strength of Amaji-sama. He won't be in danger in there. Shizune saw Tsunade so anxious, and she couldn't bear it, so she stepped forward to persuade her. But she was interrupted by Tsunade. Who said he couldn't come out safely? I said he didn't keep his word. And tell second grandpa that something went wrong in Lalin. Tianyu went in by himself. Tsunade was also very helpless, because she knew where Lalin was since she was a child. Lalin was also a prosperous city a few decades ago, but it became history because of some changes. The reasons for these changes were actually all because of Senju Tobirama in Konoha village. When Senju Tobirama became Hokage, he thought of the dragon vein. So Senju Tobirama took out the dragon vein directly and put half of it in Konoha. This is why, no matter how much trouble Sarutobi Hiruzen made in Konoha village, Konoha did not fall in the end. All this is thanks to this dragon vein. But because of Sarutobi Hiruzen's corruption in recent years, this dragon vein has also become fragmented. Originally, Senju Tobirama did not intend to take the other half of the dragon vein. After all, it was related to the fate of the world. No matter how selfish he was, he would not touch it. Who knew that it was Shianyu's turn to go in this time? And it is said that there are also very terrifying existences in the dragon vein. If Shianyu really can't come back by accident. When Shizune heard that she was going to find the second generation, she knew that things were not simple. After all, it has fallen to the level of looking for the second generation Hokage, and this matter must not be simple. So Shizune also rushed to the experimental base at her fastest speed. Tsunade also came to the window, looking at the place where Shianyu was standing yesterday, and a bitter smile appeared on her face. You just don't know safety, it's really worrying. Tsunade smiled helplessly. At this time, Shizune also ran to the front of the laboratory and ran in without thinking. This also made all the experimental products of Senju Tobirama and Orochimaru scrapped, and they were about to scold. But when he saw Shizune coming in, he knew that Tsunade must have something urgent again. Why are you so impatient? Did something happen again? Senju Tobirama wiped his hands and came to Shizune. Even Orochimaru stopped his work and looked at Shizune, who was panting curiously. Shizune also quickly repeated Tsunade's words to Senju Tobirama. After hearing this, Senju Tobirama widened his eyes. You mean, Tsunade said that Lalin has awakened again, and Shianyu has gone to Lalin? Shizune nodded in confusion. Is Lalin really as scary as they say? Lalin? Second generation, is it the Lalin you went to? Orochimaru knew the history of the village, so he also knew that Senju Tobirama went to Lalin. Senju Tobirama nodded helplessly and took off his white coat. Orochimaru, you can do the next experiment by yourself. I have to go find Shianyu. Shianyu is the hope of Konoha's rise. If Shianyu died because of this matter, Senju Tobirama himself would not be able to justify it. Although Orochimaru also wanted to go with him, he did not do it. Now their experiment has reached a critical juncture, and one person must stay to guard it. I hope this kid doesn't find the lost tower. Senju Tobirama said to himself while rushing to Lalin at his fastest speed. At this time, Senju Hashirama, who was in the back mountain, also felt his brother's breath, and hurried out and followed behind Senju Tobirama. What's going on? Why are you using your power so much in the village? Brother? It's that kid Shianyu. If you don't hurry up, that kid will enter the lost tower. What? Senju Hashirama was also stunned for a moment, and then his face became a little ugly. When Senju Tobirama entered the lost tower, he came back with serious injuries. Only Senju Tobirama knew the horror inside. I didn't expect that it was Shianyu's turn to go in now. I don't know if Shianyu will be so lucky this time. Then let's go together. If he really goes in, we will pull him out. Senju Hashirama himself also attaches great importance to Shianyu. After all, his precious granddaughter loves Shianyu very much. If Shianyu dies, I don't know how long his precious granddaughter will cry. Okay, let's hurry up, otherwise it will be too late. As they said, the two of them had already passed through the gate. The gate that was originally half-built was instantly blown away by the wind brought by the two people. And Ziddy, who was holding a hammer in his hand, was frantically flying in the wind. What happened today? After Ziddy went crazy for a while, he continued to pick up the hammer on the ground and started working hard. Although the other workers were also very helpless, they could only continue to work. After all, the two figures flew out just now, and they also saw their faces. That was an ancestor-level figure, and they dared not provoke him. And just when Konoha village was in chaos, a shadow outside Konoha village looked at the two Hokages who were going away, and a smile appeared on his face. Then he disappeared on the spot. Are you serious? At this time in the headquarters of the Akatsuki organization, a Brito looked at Zetsu, who was half hidden in the land, with surprise. That's right, the one just outside the Konoha village was Zetsu. Because reconnaissance is needed, and Zetsu, who has extremely fast speed in the land, is the best task. Yes, I did see the two Hokage leave in a hurry just now. But we still have to observe for a while. If everything is fine, we will take action. Abido also nodded seriously. Now is the time not to rush. Maybe in this lifetime, there is only one chance like this, and we must choose the most perfect time to act. Okay, I got it. Tell all members of the Akatsuki organization to be on guard, we are going to move. Chapter 460 Entering the Lost Tower. Then all the members of the Akatsuki organization, plus the 12 ninjas who joined a few days ago, gathered together. While the outside world was making a big fuss, Tianyu had already arrived inside Laolin. But the centipede at this time was confused. Why has no one come in for such a long time? I thought that after I came in, I would use the dragon veins of Laolin to kill the other party. I didn't expect that the other party didn't buy it at all, and didn't even plan to come in. Damn, these grandsons are really cherishing their lives. After Wu Gong complained, he then opened his arms and began to stand up. After all, in the world now, except for the second-generation Hokage Senju Tobirama, only his descendant can open this place. Then after the centipede's chatter, the huge altar in the palace finally responded. Haha, I finally opened it. When I open it, it will be the day when I rule the world. The centipede opened his hands and laughed. He didn't hate Senju Tobirama, but he felt that Senju Tobirama was very stupid. Because if Senju Tobirama had put that half of the dragon vein on himself, then Senju Tobirama would have become an existence that surpassed Senju Hashirama. But this guy actually shared the power of the dragon vein with so many people just for the village and for others. It led to his untimely death in the end. This also made Centipede feel very ridiculous. He is not the kind of selfless person. Even if this half of the dragon vein is taken out, the world will be turned upside down. That is not his business. What he wants is to be powerful beyond the world. At this critical moment, Shianyu came out. I say, Uncle, is there something wrong with you? Shianyu walked out and pointed to his head. After all, he heard what this guy said just now. This guy's head must be a little sick. Who are you? Centipede was startled. In an instant, the power of the altar began to go out of control, and it felt like an explosion would occur at any time. Centipede had no choice but to try his best to maintain the stability of the altar. Oh? Can't move? You don't even look to see if there is anyone, just start it here randomly. But I am also a kind person. Since you helped me open the lost tower, I will let you die easily. Then, before the centipede could speak, Shianyu's knife had already slashed across the centipede's head. The centipede may not have thought until his death that all his efforts would become someone else's dowry. Haha, do you really think that the dragon vein is so easy to deal with? Shianyu smiled helplessly, and then when he was about to step into the lost tower, the centipede's body moved. Originally, the head had been separated, but now it was miraculously fused together. Then it was as if time and space had flowed backwards halfway, and everything that happened just now was repeated, and then the centipede fell into the lost tower. Oh? It's really magical and interesting. I'll go in and take a look. As he said that, Tianyu also jumped into the Lost Tower, and then the entrance to the Lost Tower became smaller and smaller because no one was controlling it. If he really can't think of a good solution, Tianyu may never get out in his life. However, Tianyu didn't know about this at all. He felt a black screen in front of his eyes, and then he appeared in a strange city. At this time, in the outside world, Senju Tabirama and Senju Hoshirama had come to fight Laolin. According to his memory, Senju Tabirama soon came to the cave entrance to the Lost Tower in Laolin. Sure enough, has he gone in? Senju Tabirama smiled bitterly, and then sat on the altar alone. At the beginning, he was actually a newborn calf who was not afraid of tigers, and he didn't understand the rules here. When he opened the altar and went in, it was the same as this. Slowly, this place closed. Then he found the long-awaited dragon vein in the Lost Tower and wanted to get out, but there was no way. In the end, he had no choice but to use Flying Thunder God. He found a space node where he came in and tried his luck. In the end, although he came out with his life, he also caused permanent damage to Senju Tabirama. This is why Senju Tabirama died in the hands of Kumagakure in the end. Brother, it seems that we can't go back for a while. Let's work together and maintain this transmission channel. Senju Hoshirama did not refuse. He came behind Senju Tabirama and transmitted his power to him. In this way, under the persistence of the two successive Hokage, the transmission channel was finally stabilized. At this time, Tianyu was not having a good time in the Lost Tower. After he asked around, he found out that this was the Konoha village in another world. Unlike the Konoha village in the real world, the Konoha village here did not have the peace of the outside world. Almost everyone was very nervous, and the color was gray. This also made everyone look very nervous. Oh. Just when Tianyu was about to move forward, he suddenly saw a huge portrait. Isn't this the centipede he just chased? How did this guy get to this point? Because now in the introduction of the centipede turned out to be the current high level of Konoha village. The name has become Lushan. It seems that in the strange phenomenon just now, the two did not land here at the same time. Otherwise, it would not be said that the status of the centipede would be advanced so quickly. It seems that I still need to explore carefully, and don't act rashly. Tianyu didn't say anything, but put on a mask of the Anbu, which happened to be left behind when he was in the Anbu. I didn't expect such a change to happen now. At this time, Centipede was in the meeting room of the Konoha high-level officials. As a minister, he was still constantly solving a portrait problem. And the portrait in his hand was the portrait of Tianyu. He actually landed in this world 6 years ago, and then began to ascend to the throne quickly with the identity of a future man. First, you have to do everything you can to seize the dragon vein in this world. As the queen of the ancient country of Laolin, Sarah didn't want her to ascend to the throne. However, it was rumored that Lushan had this terrifying weapon in his hand, so he didn't dare to act. This also made the ancient country of Laolin, which was originally peaceful, become like this. Not only that, the streets of the whole country are all portraits of Tianyu, all of which are for her to know quickly after Tianyu arrives. Then use means to kill Tianyu, and you can be safe. Chapter 461 Meeting Grandpa. After all, the memory of the centipede 6 years ago was still deeply recorded in his mind. He didn't know what happened, and then he lost consciousness. If it weren't for the fact that his body was suddenly given strength by the dragon vein, he might really die. Damn kid, I don't care who you are, you will die if you come to my territory. Lushan's face was ferocious. When he thought of the pain in his neck, Lushan was a little crazy. Report. A soldier ran over and knelt in front of Lushan. Speak. Lushan stabilized his emotions, and then looked at the soldier indifferently. The soldier was obviously a little scared by the dark green mountain, and shivered all over, and then he told the report. Report to Minister Lushan, we received intelligence that a person who looked like the same portrait in your hand suddenly appeared outside our country. What? Hearing this, the teacup in Lushan's hand fell to the ground. If it weren't for the good material, it would have been broken. The soldier was also startled and quickly put his head on the ground. There were many soldiers who came to transmit information at the beginning. He was killed by Lushan because the information he sent did not meet Lushan's wishes. He did not want to come at first, but after a selection, he was finally chosen. Haha, I didn't expect it. Lushan laughed at this time. Instead of punishing the soldier, he waved his hand. Come here, Reward this man with 10,000 taels, and take a month off. Give me the reward. I have been looking for this guy for 6 years, 6 years. Do you know how he has been doing in these 6 years? He lives in fear all day long. As soon as he falls asleep, he will dream of Tianyu suddenly appearing and chopping off his head. Now that Tianyu's people have finally been found, as long as he knows where his people are, he has 10,000 ways to solve it. And the soldier kneeling on the ground at this time was so dazed that he got a month's vacation? Not only that, there is also the 10,000 taels. Because the finances of the ancient country of Laolan were not very good at all, coupled with Lushan's constant deductions. This also led to the fact that Laolan's wages were not very high, and even his annual salary was only 10,000 taels. Didn't expect that this job that everyone refused would be taken advantage of by me this time? Thank you, sir. If there is nothing else, I will withdraw. Go. Lushan shook his hand, and then the soldier ran out at the fastest speed in his life. He was afraid that Lushan would regret it and pull him back to kill him. But Lushan didn't pay any attention to him at all, but thought about the soldier's words in his mind. He could be said to have been practicing his puppetry hard for the past 6 years. After he was resurrected, a very strange puppetry appeared in his mind. This puppetry is very magical. It can control countless puppets without having to do it yourself. This is much better than the puppetry of the sand hidden village outside, and it doesn't need to use chakra lines at all. Boy, since you are here, I can only ask you to die. Lushan laughed, and then nodded to the side, and a puppet disappeared on the spot. At this time, Tianyu didn't know that Lushan had come to hunt him down. He was still looking at the surrounding environment with a smile. He did not appear in Laolan, but in Konoha village. So everything in front of him was still very familiar, except that no one knew him. He came to a shop, which was the familiar Tianyu weapon shop. Unlike the big and powerful weapon shops in the outside world, this weapon shop is now just an ordinary forging room. And a middle-aged man is taking a young man to learn ironmaking. Although the child does not know him, Tianyu will never forget this adult. Isn't this the grandfather he saw in the family tree? I didn't expect to see him here. It seems that this is really the past. Then the young man should be his father. Young man, do you want to buy something? Grandpa looked at Tianyu and smiled kindly. The young man next to him also looked over, but it seems that he hasn't found his mother yet. Oh, then give me 2 kune. I don't have any weapons either. Tianyu just came to consume, but did not offer to help. After all, this is the past. He doesn't want his every move to change history, which is disrespectful. Grandpa smiled, then took 2 kune and put them in Tianyu's hand. Young man, have we met somewhere before? Why do I feel you are so familiar? Tiantian stared at Tianyu for a long time, and finally couldn't help asking. When he saw Tianyu for the first time, he felt his heart tremble, as if he knew him. No, we haven't met, but we are related, maybe it's fate. Then Tianyu paid the money and left the weapon shop. Hey, stinky boy, what kind of relatives are you trying to get? The clothes are so rich, how can you recognize him? Grandpa couldn't help but hit Tiantian, and then took Tiantian to continue learning ironwork. At this time, Tianyu was leaning against a telephone pole, couldn't help but smile, and then left here. Tiantian also looked at the direction where Tianyu left, smiled helplessly, and then continued to learn ironwork. At this time, Konoha village was ruled by the 3rd generation, and it was also the so-called tyranny of Sarutobi Hirozen. When Tianyu heard this, for a moment, he wanted to rush up and kill Sarutobi Hirozen directly. But after thinking about it, he still thought it was okay. After all, there is no growth without setbacks. After that lesson, Konoha village obviously became more and more united. So let history take its course. Because of the actions of the 2nd Hokage, the relationship between Laolan and Konoha is not very good. But Konoha is a superpower after all, so naturally they will not give up interacting with it. So unless it is a certain situation, the two sides have no intersection and will not quarrel. Tianyu walked on the streets of Konoha, thinking about what to do next. After all, he came here with great difficulty, so he still had to take a good look to see if there were any acquaintances here. If he met his father-in-law when he was a child, or Tsunade when she was young, it would be worth the trip. Tianyu couldn't help laughing when he thought of Tsunade when she was young. I don't know if Tsunade can keep her appearance unchanged after so many years. Then Tianyu found a place to live at random. He was not in a hurry for the next thing. He would have a good time here first. Chapter 462, Konoha in the past. Report, Lord Sarutobi, a suspicious person has appeared in the village. At this time, Sarutobi Hirozen was drinking tea leisurely in the office, and suddenly an Anbu appeared in front of him. Okay, I know, you go down first. Sarutobi Hirozen didn't care too much and waved his hand. The Anbu didn't say anything, and disappeared on the spot with his head down. And a crystal ball appeared in Sarutobi Hirozen's hand. He had known about Tianyu's arrival for a long time, but he didn't interfere. A teenager, maybe a young death warrior trained by some village. But these young death warriors are expressionless and basically have no emotional foundation. But Tianyu is obviously not that kind of person. He should be a young man from a small country who came to Konoha village to see the world. Now everyone wants to come to Konoha? It's really ungrateful. Sarutobi Hirozen shook his head, then put down the energy ball in his hand and continued to drink tea. Tianyu was in the hotel at this time and felt a very obvious breath. There was no need to think about it. It must be the old guy Sarutobi Hirozen. That old guy is really vigilant. He has to investigate thoroughly even though he came in as an ordinary teenager. It seems that Sarutobi Hirozen has been occupying the position for so many years for a reason. I hope you don't mess with me, or I will make you die miserably. Tianyu didn't know whether history would be changed in this world. But he should not act rashly unless necessary. If history is really changed, it will make it very difficult for Tsunade outside the village. Well, never mind. Anyway, I haven't experienced the life during this period. I must have fun while I'm back. Thinking of this, Tianyu thought of his age again. Isn't it just the age to graduate from the Ninja Academy? It shouldn't be a problem for him to stroll around the Ninja Academy now. Tianyu stood up excitedly when he thought of this. He wanted to see how the older generation lived in the Ninja Academy. As for the centipede, Tianyu had long forgotten it. It was just an ant. Even if it got a powerful weapon, it was just an ant with a weapon. It basically posed no threat to her. In this way, Tianyu went to the Ninja Academy according to his memory, but he didn't know if the location of the Ninja Academy was still there. After walking for more than 10 minutes, a Ninja Academy sign appeared in Tianyu's eyes. It seems that after so many years, the location of the Ninja Academy has not changed. Even the architectural style has not changed. It seems that even the decoration has not been done for so many years. Good guy, Sarutobi Hirozen is so unwilling to spend money that he doesn't even decorate the school. Tianyu also complained helplessly, which was really helpless. After all, no matter how tyrant he is, he should know that a school is the lifeblood of the village. Only when the quality of students is high can the strength of the next generation of combat power of the village be determined. Doesn't he even know such a little thing? However, Sarutobi Hirozen's luck is really amazing. Even so, there are too many geniuses in this era. Uchiha Shisu, who has the title of Terror, and the young genius Uchiha Itachi and Hatake Kakashi. These three people alone are already terrifying. So in the Ninja Academy, there is no need to pay too much attention. Tianyu smiled bitterly and then walked into the Ninja Academy. No one stopped him when he walked in. Seeing his age, they might think that he was a late student. However, Tianyu didn't meet a single student along the way, which was very helpless. It seems that today is a special day, so there is no one. Tianyu originally thought that today was a holiday, so he had a holiday. When he was about to turn around and leave, he suddenly saw the report card not far away. He suddenly thought, isn't this the report card for the graduation exam? Although he has not experienced the graduation exam, he has seen pigs run even if he has not seen pork. When Naruto took the graduation exam, he also came to see it. It seems that today is the day of the graduation exam. Then Tianyu instantly appeared in an exam classroom. It happened to be the clone technique of the exam, and he also curiously sat at the window. The teacher who was testing at this time was not a very famous person, so Tianyu did not recognize him at first sight. But when he saw the boy who was testing, he was a little uneasy. He knew this guy. Uchiha Obito, the mastermind behind the Akatsuki organization, also contributed to the invasion of Konoha. It seems that today is the graduation exam for Kakashi's class, so things will become interesting. Tianyu smiled, and then saw a white-haired boy standing not far away, and a short-haired girl with two purple stickers on her face. This is Lin, right? She's really beautiful. Tianyu was stunned when he saw Lin. But his girlfriend is not bad either. In fact, there is no one prettier than Hinata in the world except Tsunade. But Tianyu also figured out why Awaken passed, because she wants to create a world that belongs only to her. Huh? Originally, Nozano-rin was cheering for Obito, and suddenly felt that a pair of eyes were looking at him. Then he looked at the window. But there was nothing to see from the window except the beautiful sky. What's wrong? Kakashi said simply. Nothing, I just felt that someone was looking at us. Nozano-rin shook her head, thinking that she had sensed it wrong, so she didn't pay attention to it. Huh? That's a close call. It seems that I was really too careless. Tianyu floated on the window and couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. I originally thought that it was impossible for the little guys in the Ninja Academy to sense me. So I didn't hide my breath, but who knew that I would be discovered by Nozano-rin? Tianyu also figured it out. Nozano-rin is now a hidden three-tailed Jinchuriki. With a perception of ninja, it is not a big problem to find it. It's really a crouching tiger, hidden dragon. Tianyu sighed, then hid his breath and continued to watch. At this time, Obito's test also began. After a simple hand seal, he used the clone technique. Just like that, a doll lying on the ground appeared on the scene, making the students present laugh. Even Kakashi couldn't help covering his eyes and smiled helplessly. Even a simple clone technique can fail, the last one deserves to be the last one. Even Tianyu couldn't help but twitch his mouth. Although the ending is imaginable, this matter is still quite shocking. Chapter 463, Akatsuki takes advantage of the situation. After all, if a person can use the clone technique like this, he should not be a ninja. This may be a person's normal psychology. Even if Tianyu didn't know their future achievements at the beginning, he might think that this kind of person is a waste, right? Tianyu smiled, but his eyes looked at Might Guy, the strange boy in green tights not far away. In history, there are only 3 people who have used the clone technique to this extent. And at this age, there are 2 people. Are the last ones all waste? Tianyu smiled helplessly, and then he didn't watch on the balcony. There was nothing to see. It's better to wait for them to come out and have a good chat with these seniors. Then Tianyu sat alone on the grass and looked up at the sky. Only at this moment can Tianyu see the same scenery as outside. Now the only one who destroys Tianyu's mood may be Sarutobi Hiruzen, who is still fighting for it. As for Namake's Minato inheriting the position of the 4th generation Hokage, there is no hope for a while. So she could only hide here with Sarutobi Hiruzen, because she was afraid that she could not control herself and kill the old guy. 13 Anbu, 7 Special Jonin. Tianyu closed her eyes and felt the ninja stationed outside the Ninja Academy. This is already a good distribution of strength for Konoha's current combat power. Maybe many places don't have the terrifying protection of the Ninja Academy. It's really interesting, but you put so many Anbu here, what are you afraid of? Tianyu looked in the direction of the Hokage's office, a little confused about why. Why would a person who has not reformed the Ninja Academy for many years use heavy firepower to suppress this place? It shouldn't be. Could it be that he already knew the identity of Nozano-rin's Jinchuriki at this time? After a while of thinking, Tianyu finally found the most appropriate result. Maybe even the death of Nozano-rin was planned by Sarutobi Hiruzen. Otherwise, in the Ninja Academy, the only one who needs this number of people to suppress may be Nozano-rin. Haha, this old guy really cherishes his life. Tianyu couldn't help but sigh, and then he continued to close his eyes and rest, waiting for the students to finish the test. After a while, after a bell rang, countless students poured out of the teaching building. Tianyu was also shocked by the scene, and sat up quickly, fearing that he would be stepped on. Good guy, it's worthy of the war, even there are so many ninjas. Tianyu couldn't help but sigh. After all, the current Konoha Ninja Academy, it's good to have 1/10 of the students. Even the talent is not as good as here. It seems that I have to have a good talk with Tsunade after returning. Tianyu looked at everything in front of him and found the mistakes of Konoha village now. The focus of everything is on the economy. Almost everyone has forgotten to practice because of him and the 2 Hokage. This also led to a very large ninja gap in Konoha village. If the 3 of them are not there, then Konoha village will be in danger. At this time, Konoha in the outside world is the same as Tianyu thought, because the 3 of them are not there. There is really an accident. In Konoha village, Tsunade is handling affairs at this time. At the entrance of the village, a group of uninvited guests appeared. They were wearing the auspicious cloud robes of the Akatsuki organization and holding various weapons in their hands. Not only that, the eyes looking at Konoha village were full of ferocity, as if there was some amazing hatred. They were the 12 guardian ninjas who became disgraced because of Konoha village. Konoha, we are back, you will experience our anger here. Asuma had already disliked Konoha. Originally, because his father was killed, he was already full of anger in his heart. And then he was killed by the organization he belonged to, and now he has no home to return to. This also made Asuma lose the last rationality. Guji looked at the 12 people in front of him, smiled, and threw the broom in his hand to Izumo. Ziddy, go find someone, I will meet these guys. Yes. When he was about to say that he would go too, he saw that Ziddy had already run away. This guy. Izumo glanced at Ziddy's back angrily, then stopped talking and hid under the table. As for the others, they didn't notice his presence either. After all, it was just a small building. They could just kill him in a while. Old man, do you know who we are? If you turn around and leave now, we won't stop you. Asuma didn't want to fight here. After all, their purpose was to cause chaos in Konoha. Then let Obito and others go to the place where the tailed beasts were kept to take away the tailed beasts of Konoha village. Although I'm old, I'm still more than enough to deal with you little guys. As he said that, Guji took out his short sword that he hadn't used for a long time. Since coming to Konoha, Guji didn't know how long he hadn't taken out his old buddy. After all, life in Konoha was too peaceful, so peaceful that Guji thought he was really an old man sweeping the streets. Old buddy, long time no see, let's fight side by side. But as Guji touched it, the short sword vibrated slightly. Then Guji's eyes were full of murderous intent, and he gently shook the short sword in his hand. You shouldn't come to Konoha, because Konoha is my home now. Then Guji disappeared instantly, and countless Guji appeared in front of the 12 ninjas. Everyone be careful, this old man is weird. Asuma also felt something, and quickly took out his brass knuckles and took a fighting stance. At this moment, willow leaves fell from the sky and floated in the air. In an instant, large and small animals appeared on the bodies of the 12 people guarding them. Everyone be careful, Dilu, you come to deal with this guy? Dilu nodded, and then a red evil spirit appeared on his body. It's not a good thing for a monk to have this kind of aura. Guji sighed, and then fought with Dilu. Asuma was still worried, so he left 2 more people behind and ran into the Konoha village with 8 people. Guji could only smile helplessly. He was old, and being able to stop 3 was already his limit. Then Guji stopped thinking about so many things and fought seriously with the 3 people. On the other side, the Akatsuki organization was not feeling well either, because they were now confused about where to go. When they came, they forgot to ask where the tailed beasts were stored. Chapter 464 White Fang's Recognition. How do you do things? How can you forget such a thing? Now Obito wanted to kill these useless people in front of him. The plan had been decided so perfectly, but he didn't expect that he would fail in the matter of finding the tailed beast. What can we do? You said at the beginning that we had already obtained the information, and everyone should set out. Konan pouted, feeling really wronged. He originally wanted to come here to investigate, but Obito said that he already had the information. There was no need to do these useless things at all, and his request to come here to investigate was passed. Who knew that it was this simple arrogance that led to their current predicament? Obito wanted to refute, but after recalling it, it was indeed his own problem. Even if he was quibbling, there was nothing he could quibble about. You are right, so what? Seeing Obito playing rogue, Konan was also very helpless, shrugged to show that he had no opinion. Obito saw that everyone stopped talking and stopped making trouble, and began to observe the environment around him. Now there is already the sound of fighting at the entrance of the village. It means that the 12 ninjas who protect them have already started fighting, and they must make a quick decision. Let's go separately. Whoever sees the tailed beast will make a noise and we will go there. Obito could only come up with a solution. Otherwise, if they continue to delay like this, the 12 ninjas who protect him will not be able to hold on. Okay, I'll go first. You choose your own direction. Pine didn't waste any words. He just picked a direction and flew over. It's great to be able to fly. Obito looked at Pine flying away and was very envious. After all, it is rare for a ninja to have the ability to fly, and it is really a good ability to travel quickly. And it's amazing. Konan smiled, and then a pair of wings appeared behind her, and then she left. Obito's face became very embarrassed. How could he not fly here? Okay, don't be so angry, let's go. Which direction am I going? Ju patted Obito's shoulder with the same feeling, and then his whole body disappeared into the ground. Obito thought he had a confidant and was very happy. Who knew it would turn out like this? You guys, wait. Although Obito was angry, he still needed them now, so he shouldn't act rashly. Then he went to the remaining direction by himself to find the tailed beast. After the Akatsuki organization took action, the whole village had already been in chaos. All the three ninjas ran out, and looking at the chaotic village, Tsunade hurriedly gave orders. Jiraiya, you go to the east, find the enemy and save people for me. Orochimaru, you go to the west, the same mission. I'll go to the north. As for the gate, it should be blocked by Uncle Gu, and the safety of the villagers must be guaranteed. The two nodded, indicating that they had no objection, and then disappeared from the spot. Really, I knew to go out at this critical moment. Tsunade looked at the bracelet that Tianyu gave her in her hand, couldn't help but complain, and then ran over. Now there is no strong combat power candidate in the village, and they can only rely on their older generation to persist. They can't become a mess here after the grandfathers and Tianyu are gone. At this time, the 12 guardian ninjas had already entered the village, but there were only 2 people beside Asuma. Because they had encountered many ninjas along the way, and many people had fled. It was good enough to be able to walk here with 2 people beside him. Really, why haven't I seen the high-end combat power yet? Asuma did not feel lucky for running so far, and even felt scared. Originally, if the high-end combat power appeared, he would have a chance to escape if he stayed on the periphery. Who knew that along the way, not only the high-end combat power, but even Kakashi and others did not appear. What did these guys do? No, let's go quickly, it's dangerous. Asuma suddenly felt that something was wrong, so he wanted to run with people quickly, otherwise it would be too late. Unfortunately, Konoha was not a vegetarian here. Who do you think you are? You come and go as you please. Kakashi also came to Asuma with Might Guy and Kurenai at this time. Hooray! Looking at Kurenai, who he liked at the beginning, standing in front of him, Asuma wanted to reach out his hand. Who knew that Kurenai took a step back? Sorry, Asuma Saratobi, I have nothing to do with you. If you surrender now, I can ask for mercy from the Hokage for our old friendship. Asuma was stunned for a moment, and then a crazy smile appeared on his face. Haha. Okay, you are all fine, in that case, then stand. Asuma said, a chakra blade more than 10 meters long appeared from the brass knuckles in his hand. Although the 2 ninjas next to him were not strong in combat, they were still capable of holding one person undefeated. In this way, the 3-person battle began, and Asuma could not help shaking his head against Hatake Kakashi. He gently opened his forward protector, and the Sharingan appeared. Then the heirloom Konoha White Fang also appeared in his hand. He was no longer the legendary copy ninja Hatake Kakashi, but a miniature of his father. The fear of Konoha White Fang decades ago permeated the field here. Because of the blessing of the Sharingan, Kakashi had more time to consider fighting. This also makes every strike of Kakashi more effective. I believe that after a period of training, Hatake Kakashi will surpass his father. Kakashi, you have become stronger. Asuma's face is now full of sweat. He can't believe that Kakashi, who was originally not strong in fighting, has improved again. Asuma, you have also become weaker. Kakashi smiled, then kicked away the brass knuckles in Asuma's hand, and put the white teeth on his neck. Asuma subconsciously looked at his men, but his men had already been captured by the 2. They were just waiting for him to arrest them. The original 12 ninjas of the Land of Fire are temporarily detained for attacking Konoha and are awaiting interrogation. After Kakashi pronounced the crime, he asked someone to take the 3 people down together, and he had to find other criminals. It seems that the 12 ninjas of the Guardian should have come. There are still few people in the village who can match them. You go first, I'll go and see, I hope they will be careful. Kakashi looked at the direction of the battle worriedly, and then rushed in a random direction. The white fang in his hand finally trembled with intelligence, showing his recognition of Kakashi. This might be the first time that White Fang showed this after his father's death. Chapter 465, The 12 Guardian Ninjas Hide a Wall. Lord Tianyu, thank you so much. Kakashi thought of Tianyu's figure in his mind. He must protect the village during Shionyu's absence. Then Kakashi disappeared from the spot. After a while, Kakashi came to the direction of Konoha's main gate. The battle here was the most intense at the beginning, and the sound did not weaken for such a long time. It seems that there should be some strong people fighting here. So the first direction Kakashi chose was here. But when he arrived at the gate, everything in front of him made him widen his eyes. Because of this, Guji stood there unscathed, while a monk was lying on the ground in tattered clothes. It can be seen from the fragments of clothes that this should also be a member of the Guardian 12 ninjas. Although he knew them all, Dilo was really beaten so badly that he basically couldn't help his original appearance. Old senior, I'm here to support. When supporting the Land of Fire, Kakashi thought there was no point in such an old guy going there. Now he finally knows how stupid his original idea was. With such a strong fighting power, the only monk who was lying on the ground guarding the 12 ninjas was the legendary Delu. Although the leader of the 12 ninjas guarding the 12 ninjas was Asuma, it was entirely because of Asuma's identity. Otherwise, as the most powerful Delu, he must be the only choice for the leader. But now she is lying on the ground like a dead dog, and the other two guarding the 12 ninjas have already fainted. Oh? Don't worry about me, kid from the White Fang family. I will take these two people to the Ministry of Justice. You go to support. Guji waved his hand, and then dragged the three people to the Konoha Ministry of Justice. Kakashi sighed, and now he realized that Konoha was really a place with hidden dragons and crouching tigers. Then Kakashi no longer hesitated and continued to go to another battle site. After a while, he came to the gate of the Hikari family. And here were the four brothers of the Bei family who were guarding the 12 ninjas. The thunder method of the four people can be said to be ridiculously strong. Even if a demigod is here, he may fall if he is not careful. But they encountered a very terrifying existence. Originally, they wanted to take the head of the Hyuga family, so that they could make contributions to the school organization. Who knew that before they could start, a little girl appeared. She used the hand of sand and a white eye to the fullest, and did not give them the opportunity to release a joint attack together. Even if they were lucky enough to be together, they would be forcibly separated by the strong men of the Hyuga family. You chose the wrong target to attack. The head of the Hyuga family was also very helpless. Did their Hyuga family take action for so many years? Do you really think that their Hyuga family is a soft persimmon that anyone can come up and pinch? Damn it, big brother, go by yourself, we will cover you. In a last resort, the four brothers also knew that they could not escape today. So they could only let Kitagain run first, and then avenge them later. Although Kitagain didn't want to leave, he also knew that if he didn't leave now, it would be impossible to leave again. So he could only bow to his brothers and thank them, and then turned around and left. Who said you can leave? I don't know when. Kakashi appeared behind Kitagain, and put the white fang on his neck. What? Kitagain didn't even feel the presence of anyone, and was captured just like that? Sorry, Hyuga clan leader, Kakashi is late. Kakashi was polite to Hyuga clan leader, and then kicked Kitagain to the ground. Then he cut all their tendons. In this way, even if they can move, they can't release the seal. Hyuga clan leader, now you should protect your daughter. I have a mission, so I'll leave first. Kakashi threw the four people in front of the Hyuga family, and then disappeared from the spot. Hyuga clan leader glanced at the four people and ordered a clan member to send them to the Konoha criminal department. He also followed Kakashi's words and hid Hinata. After all, Hinata is Shionyu's girlfriend. Now Shiony is not in the village. If Hinata is not protected well, even if Shiony doesn't say it, he, as a father, will commit suicide. Kakashi smiled bitterly as he left. I thought I had made such great progress that I should be one of the strongest people in Konoha besides those three. Who knew that he didn't need to do anything to support the two places? Even many people who were difficult for him to deal with were solved so easily by them. He didn't know what his purpose was. But Kakashi didn't slow down his pace, but moved faster. Who knows if he was unlucky and met two strong men? What if others were killed? Now there are 10 arrested 12 guardian ninjas, which means there are still 2 wandering outside. What if these 2 people know that their companions have been arrested and start killing? Isn't that nonsense? At this time, one of the 12 guardian ninjas came to the Konoha orphanage. He was smart and wanted to attack some big places. But when he thought of the fighting power of the Konoha ninjas, he shouldn't interfere with his own fighting power. It's better to make some noise. So he came to such an inconspicuous orphanage. What if he met some beautiful lolly or something? He could take it away when he left. When he thought of this, he got excited and kicked the door open. Before he could make any move, a kunai was placed on his neck. Who is it? The idiot's voice began to tremble a little, wondering how he could be caught even after attacking an orphanage. Before he could say anything, he felt a huge force on his neck, knocking him unconscious. The figure in the dark also came out, with scarlet eyes, and finally revealed his true appearance. Isn't this Uchiha Shisu? Konoha is not peaceful now. Uchiha Shisu sighed, then threw away the 12 guardian ninjas, and walked back to the orphanage. In fact, the Uchiha clan's land had long been returned to Konoha, and the Uchiha children had long returned to live in the clan land. He was going to go back, but when he thought of the scene of taking care of the Uchiha children when he was faking his death, he came to the orphanage and became the director. He hoped to save every child and let these children feel at home. As for the Uchiha clan, at least there is the Supermaster Uchiha Itachi, so there is no need to worry too much. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelists. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 466 Kakashi, I am a loser? Kakashi appeared at the door of the orphanage without knowing when. Although there was no battle here just now, he felt a scream. He happened to pass by here and came to take a look. Who knew that when he came, he saw one of the 12 guardian ninjas lying on the ground so miserably. Fuck, do they not need me anymore? Kakashi's mentality has completely collapsed now, and he doesn't know what to say. He originally came to rescue, but who knew that he saw the villagers showing off their skills? No wonder they say that Konoha village is full of hidden dragons and crouching tigers. This is more than that! Exclamation mark. Kakashi looked at the orphanage and couldn't figure out what kind of masters there were for a long time. But since they didn't come out, it meant that they didn't want to come out, and there was no way to force them to come out. So Kakashi just bowed in the direction of the orphanage, then waved his hand, and an Anbu appeared in front of him. Take him back to the Ministry of Justice, and wait until everyone is together to convict him. Yes. The Anbu accepted the order and then took the 12 guardian ninjas to the Ministry of Justice. After calculation, there should be only one left to protect the 12 ninjas. As long as he finds the last one, his mission should be successfully completed. Now Kakashi's biggest hope is that the next one can be caught by him without hurting the masses. After all, the only one he could catch for so long was Asuma Sarutobi. It can be said that his efforts along the way were completely in vain and he did nothing at all. With the hope of catching someone, Kakashi ran to the last place. However, when he saw the direction of the battle, a heavy expression appeared on his face. Because this seemed to be the weapon shop of Amaji-sama's family. He was praying in his heart that the family members of Amaji-sama were no longer in the weapon shop. If anything happened to Amaji-sama's family, they would not know where to cry. When Amaji-sama comes back, even if he does not blame the village, he will be accused of not providing adequate support. Thinking of this, Kakashi sped up and rushed out at the fastest speed in his life. Don't let anything happen, don't let anything happen. Kakashi has been repeating this sentence in his heart, for fear that something will happen to anyone in the Tianyu family. At this time, the 12 ninjas guarding the Tianyu family's weapon shop have gone completely crazy. Originally, he thought he had squeezed a soft persimmon, and heard that Tianyu's home was just an ordinary weapon shop. He didn't want to kill Tianyu's family or anything, which was definitely unrealistic. After all, with Tianyu's identity, his family must be protected by strong people. So he wanted to come and smash the weapon shop, which was also considered to disgust Tianyu. Who knew that as soon as he came in, he saw something incredible. Tiantian directly pulled out the scroll and planned to fight him. Originally, a little girl, no matter how powerful she was at this age, was just the level of an ordinary jonin. After all, he was an elite among the jonin. How could he be pitted by a little girl? So he didn't care, and wanted to get rid of Tiantian directly. Tiantian snorted coldly when he saw that he looked down on him so much. You look down on me, so you will pay the price for this. Then, Tiantian opened his scroll. Then countless blades appeared in the air and flew towards the direction of the Guardian 12 ninjas. What the hell? The 12 guards quickly retreated, trying to avoid the attack range of the ninja tools. Whose rich little woman is this who ran out to fight? Now the Guardian 12 ninjas only have this thought in their minds. After all, ninja tools are not very cheap among ninjas. So every time a battle is over, they will even pick up the used ninja tools and reuse them. Who will fight like this little girl, throwing them out in batches at any time? Are these ninja tools all cabbages? Unfortunately, the Guardian 12 ninjas still underestimated Tiantian's financial resources. The ninja tools flying in the air are not ordinary ninja tools. These are weapons in the store that are said to be sky high in price, and they were all given to her by Tianyu before he left. After so many years of accumulation, Tiantian can be regarded as a veritable little rich woman. With the weapons that Tianyu gave her, there were few people in Konoha village who were richer than her. In this way, the effects of various ninja tools were used at the same time, and with a shocking explosion, the 12 guardian ninjas were already lying on the ground. Ha! I will never come to Konoha again, Mom, save me. The 12 guardian ninjas blew out a puff of smoke and lay on the spot crying. He couldn't even beat a little girl. Has he practiced for so many years to become a dog? When he was already in the land of fire, he was admired by so many people. She thought she was really powerful and a terrifying existence. Who knew that after all this was over, he found out that he was a loser? Exclamation mark. Just when the battle was over, Might Guy had already run over. It was obvious that he had heard the noise here, so he came. Not only that, Kakashi was standing next to him. Both of them widened their eyes and looked at Tiantian, standing in the center of the battlefield. 10-10, you're great. You defeated the famous 12 ninjas. Might Guy didn't have any special feelings. He was very happy in his heart, happy for 10-10's strong strength. Kakashi had been squatting on the ground for a long time, crying for a long time. Was he really a loser? He was a little proud of his progress, but a teenage girl was already as strong as him. Just like that, because of 10-10's useless action, the two ninjas in the famous ninja world completely doubted their lives. They thought that their lives were already arranged. In fact, they were just losers. Kakashi, what's wrong with you? Might Guy also noticed Kakashi squatting on the ground at this time, and hurriedly stepped forward to ask. Oh, nothing, you guys go ahead, I'll take this guy to the Ministry of Justice, I won't bother you. Kakashi collapsed and picked up the 12 ninjas on the ground, and then disappeared on the spot. Is he injured? 10-10 looked at Kakashi and thought he was injured in the previous battle. However, Might Guy laughed and looked at 10-10. He and Kakashi had been rivals for such a long time. How could he not understand Kakashi's feelings? What he said just now was just to stimulate Kakashi. Chapter 467 Jiraiya's hesitation. After all, a 13-year-old girl can fight to this extent. Even if he said that he was not envious, it would be wrong. But it was obvious that Kai underestimated the extent of Kakashi's collapse. Because of what happened just now, Kakashi has completely begun to doubt his life. If it weren't for his good mental endurance, he might have committed suicide long ago. Okay, we still have to deal with other bugs now. 10, you must protect your uncle and aunt. After Might Guy gave an order, he left the Tianjia weapon shop. 10 is not a fool. He knows that Konoha is in danger now, and his parents are still ordinary people. So he should stay at home to protect his parents. If his brother knew that he didn't protect his parents and went to support, he might confiscate all his ninja tools when he came back. At this time, the Akatsuki organization didn't know that the few rubbish they recruited were all captured. Even if they knew, they wouldn't feel a little heartache. After all, their goal at the beginning was to let the 12 guardian ninjas attract the vitality of Konoha village. If the three main combat forces were just to faint and didn't leave, they can also use the 12 guardian ninjas as cannon fodder so that they can leave safely. At this time, only Ibito's direction of advance is correct. As for the others, they are all in the wrong direction. At this time, Xiaonan is investigating step by step, trying to find some information about the tailed beasts. But she has already come to the city wall, and still hasn't seen any traces. It's as if the tailed beasts have never existed in Konoha village. Yes, there have never been tailed beasts in Konoha village. Xiaonan suddenly felt that her idea was right. Who said that after the tailed beasts are caught, they must be placed in the village? If she is Tianyu, then he will definitely gather all the tailed beasts in one place. Or kill all the tailed beasts, so that the tailed beasts can be killed smoothly. When they really want to find the tailed beasts, they can only wait for a few years for the tailed beasts to gather the power of heaven and earth to revive. Although the latter method is very worth trying, Xiaonan also knows that this is basically impossible. After all, no matter how powerful Tianyu is, he will not kill one-tailed beast after catching it. And Tianyu seems to know where they are every time, so he will catch the tailed beasts one step faster than them. It was as if there was an undercover agent in their organization. The more he thought about it, the colder his heart became, because it seemed that there was really no problem. Thinking of this, Xiaonan did not stay where he was. He wanted to take Pine away. Konoha was not a simple place. Haha, come as you please, leave as you please, what do you think my Konoha is? At this time, Jiraiya had already appeared behind Xiaonan. And he also summoned the Toad Sage. Teacher. Xiaonan looked at Jiraiya in front of him with a complicated expression, but still began to transform into a fighting form. I didn't expect it to be you, Xiaonan. If you surrender now, I can still protect you, but if you fight in the village, even I will have to take action. Jiraiya obviously did not want to fight with Xiaonan. After all, he was also a disciple he had trained for many years, and now he has become his enemy. No matter who it is, he might feel helpless in his heart, right? Teacher, so many years have passed, do you really think I am still that unarmed girl? Xiaonan no longer hesitated, a pair of wings spread out from behind, and she looked at Jiraiya in front of her indifferently. Just when Jiraiya thought that a war was about to start, Konan actually took off directly. After all, Jiraiya has no Air Force combat capability, which may be Jiraiya's only weakness. Boy, don't you want to chase him? Toad Sage squatted on Jiraiya's shoulder, watching Konan flying farther and farther. But Jiraiya smiled helplessly. After all, they are students I taught myself, I want to give them a chance. As he said that, Jiraiya summoned Gamabunta and asked him to follow Konan. If Konan just left like this, Jiraiya would not do anything, but if he still lingered in the village, then don't blame Jiraiya for being rude. Because Konan has been focusing on finding the tailed beasts, there is no chaos in the city area that Konan is responsible for. It's just that they heard that there are terrorists outside, so they are all hiding at home. But the battle on Pine's side is much more tragic. After Pine arrived at the city area he was responsible for, he didn't say a word and started bombing directly. All 6 clones were used, as if they were not here to find the tailed beasts, but to slaughter everything. Pine, you are too arrogant, don't you know this is the headquarters of Konoha? At this time, Kakashi had already sent the 12 guardian ninjas back. Seeing the war here, he hurried over. He just saw the bombing of Pine's 6 paths. Kakashi? What? Do you want to stop me? Kakashi smiled and looked at the arrogant appearance of Pine's 6 paths with disdain. Are you qualified to say this? Aren't you just staring at the interval between our village's Amaji and the previous Hawkage to make trouble? I just ask you, if the 3 of them are here, do you dare to step into Konoha village? After hearing Kakashi's words, Pine's 6 paths' faces became very ugly. Because what Kakashi said was right. If Amaji and the others were here, they, the Akatsuki organization, would not dare to take a step forward. But now they are leaving. Then Pine raised his hand lightly, and a nail flew out. Haha, Sharingan, open. Kakashi quickly opened his forward protector, and the Sharingan instantly transformed into a Mangekyo. Then a vortex appeared and absorbed Tendao's nails. Oh? The eyes of that guy Obito. Pine Tendao squinted his eyes, and when he saw this familiar skill, he subconsciously thought of Obito's skills. Not only Tendao, but even Obito in the opposite direction looked in this direction. Kakashi, is that you? Obito only paid attention to the situation here, and then left. After all, it's not the time to take back the eyes, and you can do this anytime and anywhere. The only thing that makes Obito feel stressed now is the location of the tailed beast. After searching for such a long time, he didn't even find a hair. Then Obito could only sigh and continue to move forward, trying to find the location of the tailed beast. Kakashi on the other side had already taken out the Konoha White Fang and looked at Tendao in front of him coldly. As long as he is still alive, Tendao will never think of making trouble in Konoha village again. Chapter 468, Unsolvable Pain? Okay, let me see the fighting power of the copy ninja Hatake Kakashi. Pine did not delay and rushed towards Kakashi. Kakashi also took out the Konoha White Fang and fought with Pine. Pine's Shiandeo is not just one person, there are 6 people behind him. The 6 people can share everything they see. Just like now, Kakashi put the nails shot by Pine into the space behind him. Then he raised the white fang behind him and was about to chop off Pine's head. But he was blown away by a cannonball. If Kakashi hadn't reacted in time, he would have been blown into slag. What's the situation? Kakashi's face broke out in cold sweat. Judging from the situation of his previous attack, Pine Six Paths has no weaknesses, that is to say, it is difficult for him to kill Pine Six Paths from the aspect of sneak attack. The only way is to form a strength crushing. This is impossible. Kakashi also knows his own fighting power very well, and he can't beat Pine at all. Since there was no way to launch a sneak attack, he could only delay time. Kakashi smiled helplessly, then quickly distanced himself from Pine's Six Paths and quickly formed seals with his hands. As if he wanted to challenge Tendo didn't make a move. He just watched Kakashi pretending to be cool. Finally, Kakashi completed the seal, and a shadow clone instantly appeared beside him. The shadow clone was sucked in by his divine power, and appeared on the other side of Tendo the next moment. Reikiri. As Kakashi finished speaking, he threw out countless kunai with lightning. Even the shadow clone on the other side also released countless kunai, trying to break Paine's defense. Who knew that Paine still stood still, just opening his arms? Shinra Tensei. A circle of faint transparent barriers appeared beside Tendo, knocking away all the flying kunai. After Kakashi's attack ended, the barrier also disappeared into the air. Then Tendo opened his hand and stretched it in the direction of Kakashi's clone. Ten Xiang Xianan. Then a huge suction force appeared, sucking Kakashi's clone into Tendo's hand. Then, countless black sticks appeared out of thin air, piercing the clone in Pine's hand with holes. Then the clone also turned into a white mist and disappeared. But before Tendo could say anything, Kakashi had already flown into the sky, and a terrifying lightning appeared in his hand. Haha, do you really think that was Reikiri-sun just now? Then he fell from the sky and was about to press Tendo directly to the ground. The next moment, Jushaodo actually appeared behind Tendo, picked up Tendo, and threw him aside. At this time, Kakashi's attack direction had already fallen, and it was impossible for him to change direction in the air. Just like that, in Kakashi's confused eyes, Reikiri-sun hit Jushaodo's body. In an instant, a lightning hemisphere with a diameter of more than 10 meters appeared around him, wrapping Jushaodo in it. After a while, the body of the animal was exposed to the air. Then he looked in the direction of Tendo and fell to the ground. Kakashi also half knelt on the ground, panting, looking at Tendo unwillingly not far away. Why? Aren't you human? You would actually give up your life? Kakashi was very confused. Even if it was a ninja from Konoha, he wouldn't give up his life at the first time, right? If you want to know something, go to hell first. Tendo came to Kakashi indifferently, and a nail was placed between his two fingers. As long as he wanted, he could take Kakashi's life now. Asshole, can you touch my Konoha ninja? With a roar, Tsunade fell from the sky and smashed Tendo into the ground. Tsunade took advantage of this opportunity to quickly pull Kakashi out of the ground and threw him aside. Then he summoned the slug clone and lay on Kakashi's back. Kakashi looked disgusted, but when he felt the chakra restored in his body, he did not resist. Kakashi, good job. Tsunade praised Kakashi without turning back, and then looked at Shiandeo coldly. He had seen the battle just now when he rushed over. All-round protection without blind spots, and 4 desperate subordinates. In addition, he was able to absorb it and resist the damage just now. This guy is not simple. Kakashi, all the high-level ninjas in the village, gather them all, this may be the most dangerous battle for our village. Tsunade did not have the confidence to kill Pine in front of her safely. So she could only let Kakashi seek help and try to kill Pine with a human wave tactic. Kakashi nodded, then stood up and rushed out holding Mimi. Tsunade looked at the embarrassed Kakashi and smiled helplessly, then looked at Pine in front of her coldly. Come to my Konoha village, you guys are awesome, come on, let me see who you are. Then Tsunade took off her Hokage cape, jumped up, and punched the ground. Pine saw that something was wrong and jumped up quickly, but Shura Road still didn't react and sank into the mud. At this time, the animal road that was blocking the damage for Pine strangely crawled out of the mouth of the hungry ghost road. Question mark. What the hell? Tsunade now also felt a lot of pressure, and didn't understand what was going on. Could it be that these guys are immortal? They have been beaten like that, and now they are still alive and kicking? After the animal road came out, it summoned 3 summoning beasts. Just like that, a chameleon appeared and pulled out Shura Road, who was deeply trapped in the ground. And a panda statue fell from the sky, about to smash Tsunade into the ground. Tsunade did not run away, but raised her hand directly. The next moment, the panda stopped about 2 meters above the ground. Tsunade also lifted the panda with difficulty, looked at Pine Tendo and sneered. "I'll give your things back to you." Then, she threw the panda out as soon as she collected it. Just when it was about to hit Pine Tendo, it was directly pushed out by a 3-headed hellhound. Tsunade also took this opportunity to take a breath and looked in the direction where Kakashi left. "This guy, I asked you to call for help, why didn't anyone come for such a long time?" Tsunade was very helpless and could only pull off the bracelet that Tianyu gave her. Then, with a light flick, a whip appeared in Tsunade's hand. "Snap!" Tsunade said, waving the whip in her hand lightly. "You asked for this, I'll beat your dog heads off." Chapter 469, Betrayed. Then the bracelet in Tsunade's hand flew out and went straight for Tendo's head. But Pine would not give him this opportunity. Shirato had already stood up and transformed into countless weapons in his hands. Then countless missiles rushed towards Tsunade. This also made Tsunade very helpless. She could only retract the whip and waved at the missiles in the air. As the whip passed by, all the missiles did not stop. Tendo also showed confusion on his face at this time, not understanding what the use of Tsunade's weapon was. And the next moment, even Tendo couldn't help but widen his eyes. Because all the missiles actually fell from the sky and broke into 2 halves. This is impossible. How could someone in the world make weapons like this? Tendo's only thought now may be this. After all, even his nails are just the talent brought by his eyes. He thinks that this kind of hardness is already the world's top. And now there is such a terrifying weapon, could it be that? After all, he had seen Tendo before, and even captured Hungry Ghost Ao as a test subject. Since then, Pine has realized Tendo's terrifying strength. From that day on, Pine didn't want to meet Tianyu again. "Tsunade, I am really afraid of the weapon in your hand. But you have to think clearly, you can't threaten my life, and now the high-end combat power of the village is gone. I just want to take the tailed beasts. If you don't hand over the tailed beasts, I will massacre the village in front of you." After hearing what Tianyu said, Tsunade's face was also very ugly. What Tianyu said was indeed correct. Now that he took out the bracelet, he could only be invincible in Tianyu's hands. But he couldn't stop Tianyu from massacring the village. "Okay, call all your companions in the village out, and then I will take you to get the tailed beasts." Tsunade had no choice but to compromise in the end. At worst, she would wait until Tianyu came back and let Tianyu take these tailed beasts back. The only thing that can't be moved now is Tianyu's girlfriend Hinata, right? If Hinata is taken away by himself, then no one can say what the first thing Tianyu will do when he comes back. "Okay, I'll let my people go out, but you have to hand over all the tailed beasts to me." "No, you can take any one, but there's only one Jinchuriki that you can't touch." "That won't work, I have to take all the Jinchuriki." When Pine heard that he was going to leave one behind, it seemed that the other tailed beasts he had collected would be meaningless. "Then you can only step over my body." After hearing this, Tsunade could only take a fighting stance. Even if the entire Konoha village died, Hinata couldn't be in trouble. Seeing Tsunade's decisive look, he also showed hesitation on his face. It seems that the one-tailed Jinchuriki has some status. Otherwise, Tsunade wouldn't have risked her life to protect her. "Okay, then I'll leave one for you, now tell me where the tailed beasts are." Tendo finally had no choice but to compromise. If they delay any further, their situation will become more and more dangerous. The massacre of the village just now was just Tendo's last means of threatening her. If Tsunade had insisted just now, Tendo would have had to find a way to get rid of Tsunade. After all, the Akatsuki organization didn't know when Tianyu and the other 3 would come out. If they wasted some time, Tianyu would come back inexplicably. Then they didn't know where to go to cry. All the tailed beasts are in the back mountain of Konoha village. Tsunade could only tell Tianyu the location of the tailed beasts in the end, and then made way for Tianyu. Tianyu showed a faint smile at the corner of his mouth, and then planned to leave. It was just right to gather all the members at the place in a while. Take the tailed beasts away directly. Who knew that just when Tianyu was about to leave, Kakashi ran over with people. "Tsunade-sama, I'm back with people." "Asshole, you're back at the wrong time." Tianyu's face changed drastically. He originally relied on Tsunade's lack of numbers. Now Tianyu can pray in his heart, hoping that Kakashi will bring back a few people. At this time, Kakashi appeared behind Tsunade, but there seemed to be no one following him. Where are the reinforcements? Don't tell me that you haven't found anyone after such a long time. Tsunade was a little happy at first, at least she didn't have to send away the tailed beasts that Tengo had worked so hard to collect. But the next moment, she wanted to kill him. Tengo was also relieved. No matter what, the results of his negotiation had not changed. He knew Kakashi's fighting ability, so he was not too worried. What are you talking about, Tsunade-sama? Kakashi said, turning his head to look behind him. His action made everyone look towards the sky, and a thick-browed uncle wearing green tight clothes flew over. Haha, Might Garu requests to fight. Then he stood beside Tsunade. Although only one person came, Tsunade's face became a little better. At least someone was called. If Kakashi had really come alone just now, then Kakashi would not have a good time after this battle. Uchiha Itachi is coming with the Uchiha clan to support. Uchiha Itachi appeared behind Tendo without knowing when, and directly blocked Pine's retreat. Uchiha Itachi, you traitor. Tendo was furious. He didn't expect that among the people who came to support him, there was actually Uchiha Itachi, his former teammate. I'm originally from Konoha, how can I say I'm a traitor? Uchiha Itachi didn't care what he said at all, and said with a smile. Just when Tendo's anger had not dissipated, a few more people came. Anbu Deidara requests to fight. Anbu Shigeki Kiyomi requests to fight. Anbu Sasori requests to fight. After 3 people wearing Anbu costumes and masks appeared, Tendo went completely crazy. You traitors, you actually stood in the direction of the enemy and hit me. When I create a perfect world, you will be sinners. After hearing Tendo's words, the 4 people just laughed. They didn't want the Akatsuki organization to create a perfect world. After all, they are all wanted criminals in the world, and joining Akatsuki is just to find a place to hide. Now that they have a village that can accommodate them, they naturally don't want to go out and die. Chapter 470 Konoha's terrifying cohesion. Pine, stop dreaming. Don't you see how powerful Konoha is? Deidara looked at his former boss with disdain. Before he came to Konoha village, he thought that Pine was a good boss. After all, he looked quite smart. Who knew that after Konoha, when he looked back at Pine, he could see that this guy had no brains at all. Their Akatsuki organization could indeed capture a tailed beast in secret with 2 people. But this was all done in secret. This is completely different from what Tianyu did a few days ago. He came directly to the village headquarters and asked for it directly. Which village dared to refuse? These are not the most important things. The most important thing is that there is still a Senju Hashirama in the village who treated all 9 people as pet foxes. Even if these 2 people are not in the village, don't forget that they are not dead. If something really happened in the village, they can get away with it now. But in the future, you don't know what their fate will be. So what? When we gather the tailed beasts, you will know what a perfect world is. What the first generation of Hokage, what the greatest genius of all time, they are all stumbling blocks to us. Pine obviously did not want to accept this reality, and could only start a period of self-hypnosis. Deidara did not want to pay attention to him anymore, and stood aside waiting for Tsunade's order. You did a good job, calling so many people. Tsunade could not help but praise Kakashi. She thought he had not found any support. Now it's good, he actually called so many people directly. In such a short time, calling so many people, it can be considered that he has some ability. But Kakashi was lying on the ground like he was exhausted, and shook his hand weakly. Tsunade-sama, this is what I should do, then you guys fight first, and there should be more people coming soon. Then Kakashi completely fainted. Because Kakashi also knew the seriousness of the matter just now, he used Kamui without regard for the consequences. Request for support at the fastest speed. After all, Kamui is a space ninjutsu, and it does not have the specificity of Flying Thunder God. So the consumption is still very large. Now Kakashi can wake up and come to Tsunade, which is already amazing. You go to sleep first. Tsunade also knew that Kakashi had made a great contribution this time, so she asked the slug next to her to take Kakashi away. She didn't say anything. Since Kakashi said there is still support, let's see how many people Kakashi has called now. And Pine also heard what Kakashi said, his face became very ugly. There were already enough people. Now he didn't know if he could run out smoothly. Now, my goodness, there are still people coming? You are really too much? When I come back alive, It will be your death. Then Pine raised his hand, and a black ball the size of a stone appeared in his hand. Chibaku Tensei. Then the small black ball slowly rose to the sky, higher and higher. Everyone, don't let this thing work anymore, hurry up. Although Tsunade didn't know what this little thing was for, he could still feel the terrifying pressure from it. If nothing unexpected happens, this thing should be Pine's killer move. Everyone heard the order and quickly used ninjutsu to bomb the small black ball. But Pine laughed on the spot, not caring about their current actions at all. Haha, you are really wishful thinking, just sink into this world with Chibaku Tensei. Then a terrifying suction force appeared on Chibaku Tensei, sucking all the nearby buildings into the sky. Asshole, hurry up and save people. Tsunade was extremely angry. She didn't expect Pine to really do what he said and wanted to destroy the village. Tsunade-sama, be careful. Uchiha Itachi appeared behind Tsunade, and then used Susanoo to cover Tsunade. The next moment, a huge stone of more than 10 meters fell on Susanoo. Thank you. It should be done. Uchiha Itachi didn't say anything more, and then began to use Susanoo to rescue. The ninjas who came here to support were also doing what they could. The offensive ninjas were on the side to prevent the falling boulders from hitting the people. Those who were a little faster went to tell the people who had not run away to leave. In this way, the Konoha ninjas sat down to rescue in an orderly manner. Except for some ninjas who were injured, almost no ordinary people were hurt. Instant body technique with a voice, countless figures appeared. Almost in an instant, hundreds of people escaped from the danger zone. Shisu, you are here too. The moment Tsunade saw Shisu, she obviously felt a little surprised. After all, since Shisu returned to the village, it may be because of what Konoha did that Shisu never appeared. I didn't expect that today's incident would make Shisu take action. As a Konoha ninja, these are what I should do. Shisu clasped his fists and bowed in Tsunade's direction, and then disappeared from the spot. He wants to save everyone. Tsunade looked at the unity of Konoha at this time, and she didn't know how to feel in her heart. She originally refused this position because the position of Hokage restricted her freedom. But now, Tsunade couldn't help laughing. Maybe such a scene is the most desirable thing to see in this position, right? At this time, Pine also took advantage of everyone's rescue and ran away to who knows where. Tsunade looked at Pine's disappearing back, but did not chase him. There was no point in chasing him now. He was just a jumping clown. If he dared to come again, he would not be given the opportunity to do so many things. With Pine's departure, the meteorite in the air also lost its power instantly. Countless huge stones fell from the sky, scattered, and fell in the direction of the houses not far away that were not affected. Everyone, at all costs, rescue all the people. Tsunade hurriedly gave the order. In fact, without Tsunade's words, the others had already rushed out and took those who did not escape to farther place. Tsunade no longer hesitated, and rushed out herself and started the rescue. Swoosh! Whoosh! Whoosh! At this time, countless Enbu appeared in the dark. Even those Chunin who did not participate in the battle and were not strong appeared and began to contribute their own Weibo power. Chapter 471, The Three Ninjas on the Same Stage. If this scene was seen by people from other villages, they would probably feel very emotional. After all, this scene has basically never happened in history. Every time a major disaster occurs, the first choice of the ninjas in the village is to escape. After all, the lives of ninjas are definitely greater than those of the masses. If ordinary people die, they die, but if ninjas die, it will have a certain impact on the village. 1 is not a problem, 2 is not a problem, but if there are a lot of people, then it is a problem. Tsunade can bravely give orders without considering these. Forget about these, this group of lunatics are still following Tsunade's orders. Aren't these people afraid of death? Woo mom, where are you? I'm scared. At this time, on a street, a girl was holding a balloon in her hand, and a huge rock had already flown over her head. The girl had long forgotten to escape. Now the only thing she could think of in her mind might be her mother. Then the girl closed her eyes, too scared to move. Boom! With a loud noise, the girl felt that she had entered a warm embrace. Thank you. Although the girl didn't see the man's face clearly, she still said thank you as her mother taught her. Jiraiya smiled at this time, but didn't say anything. I didn't expect you to have a gentle side. He raised his head and looked at Orochimaru who fell from the sky. You are the only one who talks too much? Hurry up and save people. There are still many people. We don't have much time. Orochimaru handed the balloon to Jiraiya and then disappeared on the spot. Here, send her out and continue. Tsunade appeared at some point and threw out a small slug, then continued to rush forward. Jiraiya smiled helplessly. Did he really think of himself as a part-time worker? But Jiraiya didn't refuse and tied the balloon to the girl's wrist. Then he put the slug on the girl's shoulder and carried the girl away from the disaster site. This may be the first time since the last duel with the demigod Hanzo that the three ninjas have appeared together again. This is also a very precious scene. However, this scene only flashed by, and there are countless such scenes that appeared in the disaster. The big families who may be aloof and unworldly also appeared and started the rescue. All ninjas, except for the Shin'an, had to participate in the rescue, otherwise it would be considered a rebellion. As for the Shin'an, they had to go to the refugee area obediently and take good care of the refugees. If anyone was injured, they had to go over to help. As for the refugees, they were very obedient and did not make trouble. Everyone was very quiet, just sitting on the ground, waiting for the result. Some people even came out to help the Shin'an reduce some pressure, so as to help some of the injured faster. In this way, the rescue was carried out in an orderly manner, and all the stones in the sky fell to the ground. Almost half of the buildings in the entire Konoha village were affected. The most fortunate thing is that there is only this one bad news. As for the others, all the villagers have been treated, and the number of injured people is the majority, and only 10 people have not been rescued. The others are intact. For other existences, Konoha village has created a miracle, except for property losses. There is no loss. For the international community, this is no loss. At this time, Obito, who was in the back mountain of Konoha, just wanted to go in when he heard the horrible vibration in the opposite direction. Pine, that guy, really doesn't want to be quiet, and he actually made such a big noise. Obito shook his head helplessly, and then walked into the back mountain. According to his speculation, the only place where the tailed beasts can be hidden is the back mountain. So Obito didn't search along the way, and came here directly. Sure enough, as soon as he came in, he felt a breath of the unique tailed beasts, and the touch of the outer path demon statue in his body. This is where Konoha hides the tailed beasts. He used the summoning technique to summon the outer path demon statue, and then 5 chains appeared, dragging out all the tailed beasts hidden in the dark. Obito didn't give them any chance to resist, 1 tailed beast and 1 nail. They directly lost all their energy and were swallowed by the outer path demon statue. Obito looked at the outer path demon statue in confusion. Did they say that Konoha had collected all the tailed beasts? How come all the tailed beasts were devoured, but there was no violation of the legend? Something is wrong, the number just now is wrong, 2 are missing. Obito hurriedly recalled, and then finally remembered what was wrong. He only had 2 tailed beasts here, how could there be 5 chains? He hurriedly checked the chakra in the outer path demon statue, and then found out. It turned out that the chakra of 1 and the 9 tails was missing. If this is the case, then things will be difficult. After all, it can be heard from the vibration just now that Konoha has begun to fight back. These 2 tailed beasts should be the Jinchuriki who are on good terms with Konoha, so they should be protected by Konoha now. Really, why didn't you separate them? Obito couldn't help but complain, and then he planned to get up and catch the 2 tailed beasts back. Who knew that Pine was suddenly dragged by a bird to his head? Obito, Konoha's situation is not right. There are many strong people among them. Let's go now. But I have 2 more tailed beasts to gather. Obito obviously didn't want to leave yet. After all, he was about to create the world he had been looking forward to. If he left now, he didn't know how long he would have to wait. Let's go. If we don't leave now, we will have no chance. It will be easy to deal with 2 of them. Otherwise, we will all be in trouble. Then Pine flew away without caring whether Obito left or not. Looking at Pine's embarrassed back, Obito hesitated for a while and left. Although Pine's brain was a little bad, Obito still believed in Pine's fighting ability. Since even Pine was so embarrassed, it seemed that Konoha had already deployed a defense line. If he stayed any longer, he might really have to go to see the King of Hell, as Pine said. Then, a whirlpool appeared in front of Obito, and Obito disappeared on the spot. Zetsu in the village also felt that all his people had run away. Without hesitation, he escaped underground and disappeared into Konoha village. In this way, Akatsuki completed the mission halfway and robbed most of the tailed beasts of Konoha village. Chapter 472, Accept a Master as an Apprentice? Konoha village also began to count the losses and allocate funds to those who lost their homes in this battle. This main task, of course, was given to Yamato. Only Yamato could take on this position. And when Konoha village was in ruins, no country dared to intervene. After all, even Konoha village, which had experienced a great war, was not what they could fight now. Not to mention the missing Tianyu trio in this battle. This time, their undercovers in Konoha village finally saw the true strength of Konoha village. Famous ninjas such as the Blue Beast and the Copy Ninja are not counted. There are also those world-famous judge ninjas and the geniuses in the ninja world who have lost their traces. Konoha did so well that all the villages wanted to step forward and show their strength. Now that Konoha has truly shown its strength, even Kumagakure no longer has the courage. In the Kumagakure office, I looked at the report in his hand and couldn't help but sigh. Send someone to take something to Konoha village to apologize, saying thank you for taking the tailed beast away. I can only use this method to repair the relationship between Kumagakure and Konoha. If Konoha doesn't consider this face, then he can only apologize in person. In this way, he should be able to find a place to survive under Konoha. Although he was very unhappy, the ninjas of Kumagakure also knew that things were not good for them, so they nodded and left the office. This happened not only in Kumagakure. Even Iwagakure, Mist and Sand village took out half of their country's revenue to please Konoha village. Brother, do you know what happened? At this time, Senju Tobirama and Laulan felt the atmosphere of fighting in Konoha village and couldn't help but worry. Don't worry about so many things, save this kid first. If someone really comes to make trouble while we are away, don't blame us for being rude. As he said, Senju Hashirama's face became very ugly. After all, they took action after they left. It was obvious that the other party was well prepared. If Tsunade had any problems, no matter who it was, he would uproot them. Senju Tobirama could only nod helplessly and looked at the transmission channel worriedly. It has been so long, what on earth has this kid been doing? H.U. Tianyu couldn't help but sneeze. He looked at the students who had graduated and walked out, and couldn't help rubbing his nose. Oh, how long have I been away? You missed me so much? Tianyu couldn't help but mutter, and then came to Might Guy. Might Guy, your name. Might Guy was startled and quickly distanced himself from Tianyu. How do you know my name? Might Guy looked at Tianyu, but for so long, he didn't seem to know such a person in the village, right? Don't get me wrong, we should be good friends. Why are you so depressed? After all, Might Guy is his teacher, and he also has to help Might Guy. If he didn't have Might Guy, he wouldn't have developed so quickly. Not only that, he can also have the legendary physical technique of 8 gates. It can be said that Might Guy is a great help on his way to becoming stronger. Even if he has a system and must become stronger, Might Guy has saved himself most of the time. I didn't release my clone technique this time, but I really want to become a ninja. Might Guy stared at Tianyu for a long time, and finally concluded that this guy should not be a bad guy. So he expressed his confusion. After all, in this era, physical skills are not a mainstream existence for a ninja. Even the Anbu that everyone wants to join is impossible to join. Because the recognition of physical skills is too high, who doesn't recognize Yukai when he comes up and kicks him? Tianyu looked at this boy who was always confident in himself outside. He also smiled helplessly. 8 gates is indeed a very powerful physical technique. But this kind of ninjutsu that hurts the enemy 1,000 times and hurts himself 800 times, how can a village want to recommend it? Do you want to become stronger? For some reason, Tianyu said such a sentence for the first time. Because Might Guy had said the same thing to himself, and then his road to becoming stronger began. Might Guy's eyes lit up when he heard the word become stronger. But it soon dimmed. I also want to become stronger, but I don't know how to use ninjutsu at all, and my chakra is pitifully small. At this point, Might Guy hung his head. He had actually been sentenced to death by Saratobi Hirozen a long time ago, saying that his family was not suitable to be ninjas. With his physical strength, it would be better to benefit the village by doing hard work. Tianyu couldn't help showing a hint of coldness in his eyes when he heard my guy's words. Others don't know, doesn't Tianyu know? Isn't it just to make such a hidden power that can die with him completely dissipate? I didn't expect Saratobi Hirozen to be so cruel that he even cut off a child's dream. You don't need to learn ninjutsu. Do you want to become a strong man in physical skills? Tianyu has now made up his mind in his heart that he must hand over his modified 8 gates to Might Guy, Even if it means changing history, he has to know that old man Saratobi Hirozen. Really? Can you surpass Kakashi? The first thing Might Guy thought of was the genius of the Ninja Academy, Hatake Kakashi. In just the second year, he graduated and became a captain of the Anbu. This is someone else's child. Haha, Kakashi? I won't even give him a chance to see your taillights. What are taillights? Tianyu originally thought of his words in his previous life and blurted them out. Who knew that Might Guy's attention was not on anything else and asked this question directly. Don't worry about it. Do you want to hang out with me? Tianyu looked at Might Guy with a firm gaze. He had already taken out the skill introduction of the 8 gates of ninjutsu in his hand and put it behind his back. The next moment, Might Guy knelt on the ground. I am willing. Master, as long as you can make me stronger, I will be happy to do anything you ask me to do. Fuck me. Tianyu didn't pay attention. How did Might Guy become so stubborn and insisted on becoming a disciple? He taught his own master, and the master called him master? Would that mess up the hierarchy? If Might Guy knew about this, would he really want to say, why don't we discuss it ourselves? When Tianyu thought of this, he couldn't help but reveal an evil smile. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 473, Mighty Dai's Dilemma. But then Tianyu felt cold sweat on his back and couldn't help shivering. Yes, how could he forget that Might Guy is a man who will hit yokai if he doesn't agree with him? He doesn't want to provoke her without any trouble. Ahem, what's that? I don't plan to accept a disciple now, just think of it as my kindness to help you. Now, just do as I say, carry a weight of 50 kilograms first, and then run around Konoha village 100 times. When you're done, wait for me here at this time tomorrow, and I'll teach you the rest. Then, Tianyu left the school. But Might Guy looked at Tianyu's back and felt that he was getting taller and taller. This might be his hope. Then Might Guy went home obediently. Might Guy came up and seemed to say something, but was interrupted by Might Guy. Dad, can you help me turn the 50 kilogram sandbag? I want to run with weight. Might Guy widened his eyes and didn't believe his ears. That brat, say it again, your dad didn't hear it clearly. Then Might Guy pressed his ears to make sure he could hear clearly. Oh, I want a set of 50 gin sandbags, I want to run with weights. This time Might Guy even amplified his voice to make sure Might Guy could hear it. How did this kid know what I called him for this time? Might Guy was a little skeptical about life. Originally, today was the best training year for Might Guy, and he was also going to train Might Guy to exercise his body. Fortunately, after a while, even if he was in danger, the 8 gates of ninjutsu would not be lost. Because he had also felt a different atmosphere recently, and everyone looked at him in a wrong way. Even the third generation was alienating her all the time, and slowly arranging tasks for her outside the village. The most important thing was that each time was more difficult than the last. Even if Might Guy's brain was not good, he could guess what was going on. That's why he was eager to let Might Guy learn the 8 gates of ninjutsu so that their family would have a legacy. Dad, what's wrong with you? Isn't it possible? Might Guy looked at his father standing there in a daze, thinking that he had said something wrong, and wanted to withdraw his words. But Might Guy grabbed his arm directly. Yes, who said no? Your dad will agree with you when he hears that you want to train. Might Guy had already prepared a 50 gin sandbag for Might Guy. Since his son was ready, he would naturally help him. Although Might Guy was very confused, why did the boss have this set of 50 gin sandbags? But when he thought that his father also liked to exercise very much, it should be left at that time. So he didn't care too much, tied the sandbag to his body, and ran around Konoha village. After Might Guy left, Might Guy's face became a little complicated. Who is it? He said that he didn't believe that Might Guy would want to train in physical skills. After all, due to his age, Might Guy's strength growth period will definitely be slower than other peers. Might Guy, who originally liked physical skills very much, was ridiculed by his students. He said he wanted to practice ninjutsu. Why did he change his nature after coming back today? Not only that, but what was even more surprising was how did this guy know the perfect weight ratio of the sandbag at this time? It seems that this kid has met a noble person. being able to let my guy learn physical skills when the third generation banned the development of physical skills. The other party must not be a simple existence. In this case, there may be someone who dislikes the third generation and wants to go against the third generation's wishes. Alice, it's time, and they are all scheming against each other. Might Guy shook his head helplessly, and then stopped thinking about these things. This is all the other party's business. Even if it involves Might Guy, there is nothing he can do. After all, he also has to train that kid. If he stops it now, he will miss the best training time. So everything can only go with the flow. At this time, Tianyu has already arrived at the hotel. He also roughly understands what time it is now. It should be when Uchiha Madara is not dead yet. I don't know if I can see Uchiha Madara here. If I could see it, it would be worth the trip. Then Tianyu went to bed and fell asleep. Everything should be thought about after a good rest, right? Someone, search for me. We must find the robber just now. Just when Tianyu was sleeping soundly, there was a commotion outside. Several roots broke into the hotel. Without thinking twice, they dragged the person over and started to search him. When they saw that there was no problem, they let him go. What a bunch of annoying termites, they don't even give me time to rest. Tianyu had already walked out of the room at this time. Looking at the roots dressed in familiar clothes, he sneered. These guys are really making trouble by relying on Sarutobi Hirozen's indulgence. Then Tianyu disappeared from the spot. Now is not the time for him to face the public. After all, he does not have the identity card of a resident of Konoha village. Even those from other villages do not have it. Don't think about using your ID card decades later to fool people. Even if others believe it, to be honest, Tianyu himself doesn't believe these nonsense. So before you know everything here, don't make a big fuss. Otherwise, it will be a mess here, and I will have no place to play. Just after Tianyu left, the door where Tianyu slept was kicked open, and an empty room appeared in front of Genbu. Where is the person inside? Genbu turned his head and asked the boss. The boss was also very confused. He remembered that there seemed to be a teenager living here last night. No one, this room has not been rented out yet. I don't know why the boss lied for the first time. Genbu didn't doubt it very much. After all, the flow of people in Konoha is not high now. If they said that the hotel is full, they didn't believe it very much. It seems that it is not here, then we will leave, and you can notify us if there is any news. After making a mess of the hotel, Genbu left with a few pots of old wine. Before leaving, he did not forget to take a silver note from the counter. Take it, just regard it as a protection fee. If you have any opinions, you can report to the Ministry of Justice. After saying that, he left the hotel arrogantly, regardless of how ugly the boss's face was now. Chapter 474, Rules of the Anbu. Someone, come and keep an eye on this kid. Don't let him cause any trouble. After thinking for a while, Sarutobi Hirozen finally came to this conclusion. After all, she couldn't figure out who Tianyu was. If he was really a disciple of a hidden master, he had no way to solve it now. But when all his things were done, it would be time for Tianyu to be punished. Thinking of this, Sarutobi Hirozen showed a cold smile on his face. Then, accompanied by a burst of darkness, Sarutobi Hirozen disappeared in the office. Tianyu originally wanted to find another hotel. After all, he disappeared from the room inexplicably in the morning. He didn't know if the owner of the hotel paid attention to him. If his identity was suspected by those disgusting termites, it would be difficult for him to have a good vacation. Thinking of this, Tianyu directly changed a hotel. It's better not to find so many troublesome things. But just when Tianyu wanted to find a hotel, he suddenly felt that there were 3 pairs of eyes looking at him from behind. Oh? It seems that old guy Sarutobi Hirozen can't stand it anymore. Tianyu smiled, and naturally knew who was following him. After all, in Konoha village, only the Anbu and the root could follow him. But looking at the root, they should not bother to do anything to follow him now. The one following him now should be Sarutobi Hirozen's confidant in the Anbu. Can Gaobu deal with them? Tianyu was very hesitant now. After all, he hated people following him. But if he killed them now, it might cause trouble. Forget it, let you follow for a while. Maybe the Anbu behind Tianyu didn't know that Tianyu's small decision just now had already determined their lives. Then Tianyu looked behind him coldly and continued to move forward. Let him follow me. If Sarutobi Hiruzen really thinks that what he did is in the way and wants to get rid of him, then Tianyu doesn't think it's wrong to make Sarutobi Hiruzen die a few years earlier. Boss, have they found us? And Anbu also noticed that Tianyu seemed to be looking in their direction. Don't worry, he's just a little guy, how could he find us? The Anbu captain showed a disdainful smile. He didn't understand why the third generation asked them to follow a teenager. Could this little guy be so powerful? Obviously, the Anbu captain didn't believe this. After all, even if it was Konoha Whitefang, his son Hatake Kakashi was just a genius. Among these old Anbu, he still didn't have any threatening ability. But, okay, you don't have to worry about so many things, just follow him well. The Anbu captain waved his hand impatiently, and then continued to follow Tianyu. Although the team members wanted to say that Tianyu, the little guy, was in danger. But seeing that the captain had already rushed out, they could only follow behind obediently. At this time, Tianyu had already asked his scout mice to follow behind the Anbu. As long as these Anbu dared to have a little killing intention, then the scout mice would directly take action and control these Anbu. After everything was done, Tianyu no longer paid attention to the little mice behind him. It was to avoid making him feel bad for coming here to rest. Then Tianyu found a hotel and moved in. After all, it was a bit difficult to find a hotel that did not require proof of residence in Konoha village. This also made Tianyu feel very helpless. He felt that he should apply for an ID card. If he didn't take the things, he would have a hard time doing things. But it was not easy to get the things, and he needed to make a very high contribution to the village. This made Tianyu feel troubled. After hesitating for a while, he could only give up. This kind of thing is hard to come by, so he can only wait for an opportunity to think of a way. Then Tianyu checked in with his bag and pulled the curtains. He didn't want three big men to peek when he was sleeping. Captain, this kid pulled the curtains. Should we find a way to sneak in? When the Anbu members saw Tianyu pull the curtains, their premonition became stronger and stronger. He was sure that the little guy must have discovered their traces. However, the captain of the Anbu obviously did not have that awareness, and even lay down on the tree. Okay, you are a newcomer, don't make random guesses here, what I say is what it is. Hearing this, the veins of the Anbu members bulged and clenched their fists tightly. It was really too much? Even if he was an ordinary member, he knew that the mission was not done in this way. The Anbu of Konoha village had rules. No matter who the target of the mission was, they had to treat it with all their strength. I didn't expect that the captain of the Anbu would give him such a set on the first day of the mission. Even a fool could figure it out. Could the person who could make the third generation give an order to follow be an ordinary person? Not only that, the other party was so young, so he must have lived in a place with someone else. Now the captain was so lazy, which made him very angry. Why are you angry? The captain of the Anbu also felt the emotional fluctuations of the members beside him, and couldn't help laughing. Yet, the Anbu member agreed without hesitation. After all, he had just joined the Anbu and was young and energetic. It seemed that he didn't understand the rules of the Anbu. Bang! The captain of the Anbu kicked the team member to the ground. The teammates on the side just watched coldly and did not speak. Haha, I tell you, remember the rules of the Anbu. No matter what time it is, the captain's words are the most important. If you dare to disobey me again, I will take your head next time. At this time, the team member felt the cold breath of the captain, and he couldn't help but shudder. Sorry, I know. He couldn't help it just now, so he went to contradict the captain because of his hot mind. But he naturally also knew the rules of the Anbu. Now the captain of the Anbu finally couldn't stand it, so he remembered this rule. It's good that you know it. If you do it again in the future, don't blame me for being ruthless. After the captain of the Anbu threatened, he continued to live his life of slacking off. After the Anbu member looked at the captain, he stopped talking and squatted quietly on the tree. Chapter 475, Disgusting Roots. The arrogance of the root has been going on for a long time. But what does it matter? Is it really like what the team member said, go to the interrogation department to sue them? A few days ago, there was really such a fool who went to sue them, and you can imagine what happened next. This fool was directly detained in the interrogation department and was casually charged with a false crime. Just like that, after that, the actions of the root became more and more arrogant. Sometimes, they don't even want to find an excuse, and just rob money to drink. This is not a security organization at all, it is completely a gangster rooted in the village. If Tianyu knew this scene, he might be relieved in his heart. Fortunately, in his own era, although the root was arrogant, the Anbu became more powerful later. In addition, Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't need to kill any heroes, so he didn't need to find those excuses. So these guys won't be so arrogant anymore. At this time, Tianyu had nowhere to go because he left the hotel, and then looked in the direction of Laolin. Although he also wanted to kill the old man centipede. But I have time now, so I'll learn about the history of the world here. As long as the old man doesn't provoke me, I won't provoke them. Then Tianyu came to a garden. It's a good time to see if there are any guys worth training. I also take advantage of my good mood now to train these future pillars of Konoha. At this time, Tianyu saw Asuma Sarutobi not far away. He was arrogantly snatching a toy from a friend and putting it directly in his pocket. Although the child was very unhappy, he also knew that Asuma Sarutobi's father was the Hokage. So he could only look at Asuma depressed, and then ran home crying. Even if he went back to complain, it would be useless. After all, the third generation began to dote on Asuma. It's just such a small matter. If they go to complain, they will definitely be punished. After seeing all this, Tianyu couldn't help shaking his head. Haha, it's ridiculous. He has been like this since he was a child. Tianyu couldn't help shaking his head. He regretted very much in his heart. Why did he kill this guy when he destroyed the land of fire? However, Tianyu didn't know that Asuma had already been arrested by the Konoha torture department. He was facing punishment recently. Because he was a judge, almost all villages had zero tolerance. They didn't give him any chance at all. He should be punished with the highest punishment. It's a pity that Tianyu couldn't see this scene. Then Tianyu stopped paying attention to Asuma Sarutobi, otherwise he might be angry to death if he continued to watch. Then he looked at a small group of people not far away. Aren't these people Kakashi and Uchiha Obito? They are playing kicking cans happily now, and Tianyu is also happy to be free, and came to the tree next to watch. Why don't you go over and play with them? At some point, a person appeared next to Tianyu and scared him. Haha, it seems that I am still too weak in vigilance. Thinking of this, Tianyu threw out countless scout rats in a subtle way. He didn't want to experience the feeling of someone suddenly appearing from behind again. Konoha White Fang? It's really an honor to meet you. Tianyu turned around. With his haggard appearance and the classic white hair of the Hatake family, Tianyu recognized him at the first time. Tianyu saw White Fang once when he was resurrected. But after all, there is a gap in the reincarnation of the dead, and the effect of seeing is naturally not as good as seeing the real person. Oh? You know me. Few little guys know me now. White Fang was stunned when he heard Tianyu call out his name. After all, he has been carrying out secret missions. Now there are not many people who can recognize him at the first sight of his face. Is this strange? Once White Fang appears, he can give up the mission. You are very famous. Tianyu couldn't help but sigh. After all, he didn't seem to have this title. After all, once he appeared, they had no chance to escape. Haha, these are all rumors in the martial arts world, little guy. I haven't seen you in Konoha. Konoha White Fang actually approached Tianyu because of this matter. After all, his son is still here. It would be bad if Tianyu was a killer trained by that village since childhood. However, looking at Tianyu's behavior and conversation, he should not be that cold-blooded killer. Haha, who I am is not important, but do you think Kakashi will live well after you die? Konoha White Fang was stunned for a moment, and the look in his eyes when he looked at Tianyu was a little different. Why was this guy just praising himself for his greatness, and now he is talking about what will happen after he dies? You don't have to look at me with that look, don't you know it in your heart? Tianyu didn't even raise his head, but he already knew the look in White Fang's eyes now. Hearing this, White Fang finally burst into tears and laughter. Haha, who are you? You even know this kind of thing. It is true that my death may put Kakashi in trouble, but if I don't die, Kakashi will have a hard time living. After saying this, Konoha White Fang's face also became struggling. When did he ever want to die? But because of Kakashi's existence, he had to go. Tianyu had expected this result a long time ago. He smiled and took out an item from his arms and handed it to Baiya. It's up to you, but a child without a father will not be happy after all. This thing is for you, maybe you can use it. After saying that, Tianyu disappeared from the spot, leaving Bai alone in the air. When will it be my turn to be taught by a child in life? Are the children of Konoha so precocious now? Bai smiled, then got up and walked to the gate of the garden. He took a look at the item in his hand, then smiled bitterly and put it in his chest. Although he didn't know what this thing was, looking at the child's appearance, this thing should not harm him. Kakashi, go home. Bai waved and called to Kakashi, who was still playing. Then Kakashi said hello to everyone, put on his scarf and left the park. Everyone came to play with Kakashi, and because Kakashi left, everyone also dispersed. Obito was the only one left. He looked at the can in his hand, then crumpled it into a ball and threw it into the trash can. What's the matter? That's quite polite. After everyone left, Tianyu appeared in the center of the garden. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.